Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sunkissed. And I was going to say another, but I guess it is another, Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition TTRPG. We're on episode number 32. Damn. Yeah, I know. And then there's even more. I think there's like 11 or 12 stack shots, so... yeah, there's a lot going on. Speaking of a lot going on, we left on a cliffhanger last, well, kind of a cliffhanger. It was more like a reveal and then, okay, bye! So yeah, before we get, no, that's not how we do this. Stop it, sheepdog. Chrys and also Tash, because you're clearly busy. Why don't you intro first?
I was breaking up my Kinder Bueno. Hi, I'm Tash. I'm going to be playing as Chrys today. I play video games badly and get distracted and learn things.
Yeah.
Like why October is not the 8th month of the year. And I'll be playing Chrys, who got annoyed and went to the woods.
I know the answer to that, by the way. Why October isn't the 8th month.
Me too. Now.
It's because August is.
Oh, well, that's accurate. No. Move on. I want to get bueno. Okay.
Who else is busy? Josh and also Cassius. You're looking away.
Yep. Okay. Hi, I'm Josh, and I'm trying to remember which campaign this is at the moment. I'm Cass. He is in too deep a little bit at the moment with the murdering of the sacred cows. So, it's going to be interesting.
Is it murder if it's sacrifice?
Yes.
Oh.
Easy.
Yeah. Yes. What? Why is it?
I'm looking forward to today, though. I don't know which direction we're going to go in, but
Me neither.
There's a lot, yeah. There's a lot of landmines in every direction.
Yep. Moving onwards and sideways on the Zoom call at least. Marlowe and also Hydra.
What up? I just had to line myself up a little bit better.
Oh
so
yeah.
Now I'm all parody. Yeah, I'm just wondering where you find a sacred cow. But I'm Hydra, and I normally do YouTube things sometimes, new videos every week, sometimes. And I've been getting back into Gladius again this week, which has been fun, just to hang out with some people in. Looking for some more multiplayer games to play. What's this one where you have to guess who did the thing that I'm incredibly out of touch with and I can't remember? You've all been playing it because I've watched. That's the one.
Oh
People keep telling me to play that, and I can't even remember the name of it, so it's not a good start. But
the problem is with Among Us, you have to organize like 8 to 10 people, and if they're YouTubers and streamers or anything like that, it's like it's not even like herding cats. It's herding cats on acid trip.
Okay, I'll just play with viewers, and then they can all just look at the stream and see if I did it or not.
Yeah. That's what used to happen with me in Town of Salem. Moving on to Tess and also Vandy. Damn it, I thought you weren't paying attention.
Paying attention.
Damn, okay, fine.
Hello.
So you ready for another spoopy episode?
Yesterday was terrifying. I was like on my hackles up kind of thing. I was like ready to go. Is today gonna be a spooky episode?
No. That's 26.
See, I don't believe you. I don't. This is ridiculous. Why do I ask questions that I know I won't believe the answer?
It's one
Will there be emotional scarring? No, you're fine.
In my defense, there wasn't supposed to be.
Bullshit.
You wanted into that yourself.
Nope. Listen, you planned it. But hi everyone, I'm Vandy. I play Tess. Unlike Tess, who plays Nahari. Yeah, we're gonna have to make some sacrifices of animals.
Yep.
This time. I wonder where that line, I think the line for Tess is if it's a human or a vampire. If it's human-like, it's not as bad? probably.
Technically speaking, Tess has already been sacrificed by Cassius once.
What a dick.
Right?
God. This is probably because I keep stealing all the women he tries to flirt with, so, you know. Successfully. A little successfully. I've been pretty good, okay? Listen, I got
There was one road bump. She almost killed us. It's fine.
We got there first.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Chrys doesn't know that. Still don't tell her, please.
Yeah. And moving onwards to also Nahari and also Tessa. Hello.
Hi. I'm Tessica. I stream random video games, like super random lately. A lot of Borderlands. Yeah, that's it. I don't have anything exciting today. I run. I am obsessed with cats. Sometimes I feel like all I do is try to herd them, and they are actually hurting me, and that's life. Yeah. Stream video games on my channel and also the Borderlands channel, and that's it.
I think that was a Confucius quote. I tried to herd cats, but they actually heard me.
Yeah.
Sounds like something Confucius could have said.
It does. I mean, it's true. See, okay, the problem is I made the mistake of trying to train my cats to do something, and really what happened was they trained me, because so we have this like little patio space that used to not be nice, and then COVID, and so we made it nice so that we could actually sit out there, except we never sit out there. The cats are obsessed with it, and every morning after I give them their breakfast, they're like, let us out, and they're meowing. And so I let them out onto the little patio, and they hang out, and then 5 minutes later my older cat comes in and sits in front of the treats and is like, okay, I'm ready for my treat now, because originally I used the treats to get them to come in when I needed to close the door so I could stream. I needed a way to like get them to come inside without having to go out there and like pick them up and all that. So anyway, now she like thinks that's a normal thing every single day. So and
Go
if
outside
I like don't
to get a treat.
yeah, and sometimes she won't even go all the way outside. Like she'll just go to the door and then turn around.
It's like we had a smarter than average dog, my family, at one point, and we taught him to sit by like, you know, sit and oh, here's a treat. And then what he'd do is he'd wander into a room, walk up to you and sit down and be like, treat.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we were trained to give him a treat every time he sat. So he just started sitting whenever he wanted a treat.
Yeah.
Crafty bastard.
That's basically what they do.
So, recap for last episode. We had a fun time chilling with Shelby. We chatted with him a bit. We talked about the ward that was placed over Cassius's haven, which keeps everyone out unless he lets them in, which Shelby doesn't have the skill to do, so he basically outsourced it to someone else called Carla, a friend of his, who they decided, hey, let's go and talk to, which made a lot of sense, because you don't want, you know, if you have someone like putting cameras up and security for your house, you don't want to like have a random person do that and you don't know anything about them. Carla Yaga? No. Also, do you guys think, should we say where Shelby went with his dice roll of 100? I think he'll be, yeah, I think he'll be back at some point, and it's not gonna, unless I find someone to play Shelby in a snack shot, I don't think he'll ever really come up serious. He went to Atlantis. He's currently in Atlantis. His whole house and room, like, booped into Atlantis. And he's in Atlantis, just being like, hey, what's up, yo? Can I leave, please?
That's a whole offshoot series.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Nice whale you've got
Adventures
there.
of Shelby.
Oh, is
Should
that
we
what's the guy's name who played
Aquaman.
Aquaman?
I can't remember the actor. but-
Jason Momoa.
Is that Jason Momoa? I'm a big fan.
Hot man Momoa.
Straight away, I was like, I know who you mean. Aquaman. He was also in Atlantis, Stargate Atlantis.
He was, great show.
So that's what I meant with the offshoot series. I'm just
Wait,
saying.
did you not know that? What is wrong with you, Josh?
I don't think I've seen Stargate Atlantis. That's what's wrong with me.
Okay, that is. I will forgive that. It's not as bad as that actor. You know, it looks like the actor. What's his name? He's in this and this.
You're never gonna live that down.
Josh has a hard time recognizing faces of actors, especially when they're all the same actor.
Yeah.
I have had shorter hair that one time, okay?
Yeah, Josh is currently sitting here like,
who's the storyteller?
who's that person pretending to be Sheepdog?
Yeah.
My reaction.
He joined the call and he was like, "Whoa!" But it was so loud. So loud.
It's equal to my surprise is what it was.
That's fair. That's fair. And also, Chrys and Nahari went off to go and see how Saturday was doing, also to investigate a bank. They decided not to actually break into the bank at current time, but maybe investigate it and keep an eye on it. They then went off to see Saturday. Saturday was rude. Chrys stormed off. And Nahari kept an eye on the Blessed, the puzzle box, for a little while. Fortunately, didn't see anything. Marlowe went with everyone to see Shelby, and then they went to go see the body. When they investigated the body, there were a few, like, you know, maybe it was like frozen in time to preserve the organs while they were slowly taken out and something happened to them. There are a few little bits and pieces of information in there. The best that Shelby could do, because he's not a murdering serial killer who, like, freezes bodies in time and then takes the organs. Anyway. And then Marlowe headed off for some contemplation, while Cassius and Tess went over to go talk to Gravestone, who they had a little chat with, and they were very curious about who Carla was, because Gravestone mentioned, completely innocently, of course, that he'd been attempting for, what was it, 200 years to, or maybe 400? I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was 200. The same amount of time that was when Baba Yaga went missing.
And also about the same amount of time as when Vassia was turned.
The plot thickens.
But I stopped myself.
I will leave this campaign.
And so we found out that Carla, the friend of Shelby, who made a deal with Gravestone to, like, ward up and keep people out and make sure, you know. So the protection on Cassius's haven is completely controlled, basically, by Gravestone, which I'm sure he's very happy about. And yeah, we found out that Carla is Morgan, so you know that's cool. That's her true name.
Great.
So unless anyone would like to do anything prior to this, we will proceed through the night. Everyone gets back at different times. I don't think anyone particularly wants to talk about anything, just two people or, you know, individual chats. So let's have a rouse check, and we'll come back in the morning and see how everyone is doing. Wow, look at that, guys. We got through a day already, basically, you know? Just ignore the fact that a lot of the day was last episode, but it's fine.
If Cass is the only one that fails again,
please
I will
make it so that only Cassius
Come on,
fails.
Nahari.
You leave me back here.
I believe.
the rouse button at the
Beautiful.
Get fucked.
Cass is such a thirsty boy.
bottom.
Yeah.
Cass and Tess now have matching hand tattoos.
Yeah.
It's on the palm, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how obvious that would be. But more importantly, right now, Cass is at hunger 4.
Oh, okay. You wake up with a intense need. A need to feed. Ow! But you got to do the back one as well.
That needs to be.
Because that's what cool guys in the 80s do. I think it was 80s.
Mm.
Oh my god, Tom Cruise is old. Anyway,
what is this intro
never
today,
gonna die.
everyone?
you all slowly wake up as the sun goes down, night goes up. I need to consult my notes momentarily. Because I'm pretty sure... tomorrow is the full moon, so please carry on.
This is why. This is why you should be suspicious. Everyone laughed at me when I said be suspicious of the moon. Okay.
Like Chrys is just outside, like, I'm watching you, you bastard.
I know what you're up to.
You can't...
Fancy seeing you here again.
You can't trust anyone who creeps across the sky like that. I know, you know.
Stop watching me.
I have my eyes on the clouds as well, just so everyone knows.
You're on thin ice, buddy.
But yes,
I
Cassius,
will punch the moon if you're not careful.
If you
God.
if you leave this hunger too long, it will. Your experience tells you, you know, it will crop up, and probably at the worst possible time. So keep that in mind. But there's no, you know, probably a conversation isn't going to hurt anyone
Unless I eat them.
unless you eat them.
I would assume, having had an early night, Marlowe will be up fairly early.
Oh. And it's getting dark around. It's probably moving into like mid to late November, so it's probably getting dark pretty early at this point, like 9 p.m.
Okay. I'm gonna get up early and go have myself a hot mug of blood.
Okay.
I assume you can warm it up a little bit from my blood bag.
That's
Just a body temperature, not like hot.
Yeah.
Just so it's
piping hot blood.
What's your bubble?
Why do I have a feeling it's gonna like coagulate and become like chunky milk, but blood?
Yeah.
Garbled blood.
Like it's gonna curdle. That's
Make
the
a
word.
milkshake.
How much are you wanting to take off in terms of?
Just 1
hunger?
point.
Just one? Okay, that's fine. You have some
Which I
left, but
Okay.
obviously, if you leave it too long, it will go bad, even in the fridge.
Yep. I'm down to 1 hunger now, so that will do.
Haha, Cassius. Maybe you could take Chrys hunting again. She had a bad experience with rabbits.
But Chrys,
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat on my own,
fair enough.
or eat for me.
Oh.
hunt for
Didn't
me,
you
at least.
literally
Social.
just eat as
Yeah.
well? Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I
Got
have
distracted by
no
books.
fucking clue why I'm at hunger 4 now.
I think you roused
Did.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
roused.
to
Yeah.
But then you didn't
understand-
get more hungry.
Oh yeah, that's also
You
that.
roused with
You
gravestone,
yeah,
but you didn't get more
you
hungry.
roused at gravestones, but you didn't get
Oh.
hungry.
Or thirsty. But yeah.
Yeah.
That has
Maybe you should
Josh,
just like go eat again. Go get a bear or something.
Think we have bears?
I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
what you
whatever
have.
I do, I can't eat the dough. So
no, don't eat the dough.
because we need one of those. Yeah, I guess Cass is furiously reading a book.
You have enough time spent researching the language of Ogham that you think you can now do a proper job of translating that book you have.
Yeah, so he's probably not paying attention to most of it because of the hunger, but he has various reference texts spread out over the table for Arthurian legends, He's got like just a ton of books on a ton of different subjects that he's like cross-referencing right now because he's confused and the hunger isn't helping, and he's just like leafing through things and not getting much done.
Okay.
So that's what he's doing.
Would you at least like to translate the title?
Yeah, he probably takes that one out, is like, okay, I think I've got this, and then he's like takes out other stuff because he knows he's got to give, or he wanted to give a present to Nahari, the Picatrix. He wanted to like take a look at the Gothic and a letter from Atian and stuff, like all sorts of stuff.
Okay. The title of the book in Ogum is The Grave Stone.
Well,
also, I'll give you this as well. Ogum is an ancient, like, 3rd and 4th century Irish language. Kind of Celtic, Gaelic, etc.
Is everyone
Sounds
else?
like a sound a Pokemon would make. Ogum.
Ogum.
Like a frog Pokemon.
Did everyone else sleep at the coterie?
Yeah,
I did.
Around.
I believe so, yes.
Cool. In
I
that case,
came
I'll
back
jump in.
from my very observant watching of nothing at the puzzle box. But I feel better having having a slightly better understanding of Saturday and having talked to him, and yeah, that was good. Maybe I wake up and kind of come out of my room and I see Cassius just like with the spread in front of him, and I kind of just like plop down and like Indian style next to him, and I'm like, anything I can help with?
yes. This is for you, and he just he's not looking at you. He slides a book across the table with the title The Picatrix.
I just start leafing through it. Ooh.
Okay.
Arabic astrological theories, as far as I'm aware. Not being able to read it, but more eyes and all that.
Ooh.
So the Picatrix, originally written in Arabic and titled Gayat al-Hakim, dates back to the 11th century and spans 400 pages of astrological theory. Along with the astrological theory, is also spells and incantations to channel the occult energies of planets and stars to achieve power and enlightenment. Sorry, I saw Tasha's eyebrow go up. She's like, I knew it was the moon.
Mock me for writing down the phase of me.
Hey,
So what's with
when you turn out to be right, you're gonna have like the biggest party and just...
Copious notes, people. Copious notes.
all the books, Cass? Is this something happened last night?
Yes, it's not directly related to this as far as I can tell yet. Although I'm starting to suspect it might be. Fun fact, Arthurian legends might be real. I'm not quite sure how relevant they are to Weirgate right now.
I mean,
More
Baba
research
Yaga
is
is
needed.
real.
Always more research. You got a spare animal going?
There might be a
Person?
dog upstairs if
Person.
someone. Do you need sating?
Yeah.
There's a like ringing of doorbell upstairs.
I'll go do that.
Maybe you shouldn't eat them.
I'm already up the stairs.
I'm already there. It's Gladys.
Oh. Hi, Gladys.
She's got like a few books in her thing, and she says, Cassius, hi. You mentioned to me that you were wanting to translate Gothic, correct?
Oh,
like old Gothic?
I did.
I have brought. I managed to track down and procure. It's not really a translator, but it'll help us translating the Gothic language at the very least.
Oh, excellent. How much do I owe you?
I mean, you know, it was just like £500.
Okay. I don't know if I have any money. Marlowe!
I'm having problems with the dogs, mate. Yeah, what's up? Hello, nice to meet you.
You got a spare 500.
I think I gave most of it away, oddly.
I think there's like £1,000 or two in the safe at the office. As I remember, there's two.
There is maybe a bit of cash at the office.
Do you mind if I...
I'm sure you've spent it wisely.
We'll only know that once the translation's done. But everything you spent on books is a wise purchase.
I see. Who's your friend?
Sorry, this is Gladys. Gladys, this is Marlowe.
Hello?
Good evening. Nice to meet you.
Would you like the book? You can come to the book hole and pay me later.
I would love that. In fact, I might be along soon. The new location for the bookshop. How does this place sound?
It appears to be a hairdresser's.
Yes, for dogs, but
dogs.
It won't be.
Well, it's. She's kind of like still at the door, so she kind of looks in. She's like, I mean, it would need some doing up, but it's definitely more spacious.
Easier to find as well.
We do have some trouble with foot traffic, but
we don't.
So unfortunately true.
Because every fucker in Weirgate knows where this place is.
It was Winnie's place, so.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, here's the book, and when you come to the book hole later, we can talk about it.
Yes. Thank you.
Not a problem. Nice to meet you, Mr. Marlowe.
Likewise. Take good care of our Cass, will you?
Of course.
Have a lovely evening.
She walks off a little flustered. Like, oh, it's almost like we're engaged. Take care of... She interpreted that so wrong.
So, Cass.
Nose in book, yes?
How you doing?
Good. These will be useful.
She seems nice.
She's very generous.
Yeah. She seems that way. All right, back to me mug. I'll see if the others are about. Do you have one of those little group chats?
Can do.
Celebrate not being properly dead yet.
Anything impending?
Oh, many things.
Okay.
Some sort of death rising. Yeah, all of those. If anyone's not up, he'll go knock on doors.
Chrys was probably gonna ring Danny, like whilst it's early, and see how she's getting on. To be honest, she's supposed to do that.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Chrys.
It's Chrys. Hi. Saw Aiden.
Did you kick his
fine.
butt?
Didn't need to. Actually, somebody else did that. but he's fine.
Sounds kind of like Aiden. Okay.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm somewhere new now. And she like says the area, like address type place, which you already knew, but yeah. Chris.
Yeah.
I have a butler.
Right, but are you okay? Like, it's not.
No, I mean, you know, I'm not sure, but apparently, I have this house and a butler, and
Yeah.
like 3 cars.
3 cars? That seems a little unnecessary.
And when I go to school, a couple of guys in suits with sunglasses and like those like weird curly ear things go with me.
An earpiece, yep.
Yeah, the other kids are a bit weird about that.
Well, I mean, we can probably get that lightened up. But it's a good thing overall.
Apparently Aiden's now working for a diplomat, and so
Yeah, a diplomat. Many contacts, and it's good that you're being looked after.
it's a little weird. But I have every console ever.
Do you have a Game Boy Advance?
I don't think so. What's that?
Well, then you don't. You better ask
Is
for one.
that one of those ones that old people played?
Yeah, but that's not every console ever, is it?
I mean, every good console ever.
That's not what you said.
I'm getting death stares from all the freaking.
Yeah.
Everyone's
My
like,
Game Boy Advance right there.
she's
She's
like
a baby.
12. I think she's like 13 or so. But yeah.
13. Well, I can chat to them if you want. Chat to Aiden and see if we can get it lightened or less obvious. But it's a good thing. And I wanted to see how you are. Not, you know.
I'm okay. Hopefully Aiden will come and visit soon. But you know, it's better than it was, so that's good.
I mean, was it bad before? I mean, you had a lot of takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, and also Aiden was out all the time at night, and it was just me. The house gets kind of scary by myself. Sorry, I need to look up the name of the butler.
Oh yeah, Peachy named him.
Well, Peachy and me. Fred's nice.
Who's Fred?
Butler.
Okay, but I mean, you.
Slightly older. He has like a scar under his eye.
You can't focus on these things.
Said like a dog bit him or something.
A what bit him?
Dog?
Oh, I thought you said doe. I was like, that's a bit aggressive. Why would a deer bite? Anyway, probably don't point that out. It's quite rude, Danny.
Okay.
Well, if you're not okay, let me know. I could come over and see if you want, I guess.
Sure.
At some point. I haven't planned my nighttime today yet. Or the next couple of days. But maybe I'll come over with Aiden and we'll see how you're getting on.
Okay. Just make sure to call first, because I have a very strict bedtime at the moment.
As you should. And have you done your homework?
Yes.
That sounds suspiciously like no.
I mean, I'm gonna do it before I go to bed, so it's basically done already.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go so you can go do your homework.
Fine.
But ring me if you need anything, and I'll see you at some point soon. Yeah, okay, bye.
Bye.
That's the end. Okay. What is happening? How am I suddenly everyone's parent? It's not what she planned. And yeah, she's probably gonna go downstairs now. Fine.
Incidentally, like meta knowledge wise, Fred's name is Fred Brzezinski.
Brzezinski.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
Expect that.
Good evening, Chrys.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm alright. How are you?
Good. I've got to ask, how was the last night?
I'm just like not looking up. I'm just like leafing through this Pikachu book.
Well,
Tess is in her room, by the way, like kind of. She might be lazy sleeping in, also partially trying to avoid the fact that she's got to do shit today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Marlowe will have
that's why
gone around
she's-
and given a knock on the door just to save her up. All right.
well, I was very helpful to somebody, and then they were kind of rude and like side eyes Nahari. And then I went and hung out with Castor, and we had a good run. So
Nice.
that was good.
Cass goes
Nice.
and puts Pop-Tarts in the toaster and just waits and continues to read.
Which
Yeah.
reading is it? Just for my.
Uh,
Are you going for something
He-
specific, or are you just going for?
No, he's
something
just-
to
he
wind
just-
off?
referencing, he's like taking a look at the books he just got and then put them in piles in
Okay.
order of usefulness. It's not actually doing anything helpful. He's too distracted.
If you like, again, like with the gravestone, the gravestone book, you could at the very least get like the basic feel for what the notes are written in Gothic.
I think I will wait until after he's fed.
Okay.
So, what's the plan then?
Anyone
well,
know where to buy a cow?
A cow? Why do you need a
Well, like
cow?
a slice or a whole
Like-
one?
A whole cow. I'm calling this through the
You're
door.
like really hungry.
Just like roll over again.
What did you guys get up to last night?
We talked to Gravestone.
Who's gravestone?
I was supposed to come with you, Tess. Storm into the doorway, like, come on. But
It
like,
was not a good time. Also, you wouldn't have liked it.
probably not. But get out of bed first of all.
No.
Pull the quilt off.
No.
Yes.
No. Be a whiny baby. I don't. There's just like so much to do, and then like. I just remembered all the stuff at Hell, and then, oh my god. Why is everything so hard?
Because life's hard. Unlife's hard. There's Pop-Tarts in the toaster.
Ding.
No one's
All
bringing
right.
them to you. Come on.
Fine. I'll get up and I'll grab my Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
I'll sit on the couch.
Who is Gravestone is a very good question, Nahari.
Wait, did I tell you guys the prince is dead?
What?
No.
Sorry, carry on.
Small. Are we having one of those
What?
secret sessions again?
Ow.
What?
What?
Like, Kindred City Prince?
Of Weirgate.
Our prince or like Oh, wait, do you mean the musician?
Or like the singer? Yeah, the.
Thank you, Vandy.
Okay, well, he been dead, first of all. No, the
really?
prince. Did I not tell you guys this? I swear I told you.
No, you did not tell us this.
Was I there for this?
No,
I must have told. I mean, I must have told you guys
that
this
would
at
be
one point.
useful.
No,
if you're
this is
investigating.
important information.
I mean, it's not really relevant.
How'd he die? That's
How did
and
you
how do
know
you
this?
know he's dead? Yeah. Good question,
was-
Chrys.
Told.
Who by?
Insight that.
Okay.
It's not a
like,
lie.
It's not a lie, but because like it seems suspicious.
Do I need to deceive for that? Like,
Do others know?
Okay, there's no point rolling the rest of them.
No, I mean, like, if you get a good enough insight, you could tell that she is telling the truth, but leaving out. No, yeah, she's telling the truth.
Who told you?
That's 9.
She's telling the truth, but not the whole truth.
Well, there's a second part of that sentence, isn't there, Tess?
I'm gonna need more Pop-Tarts.
Doing a little bit of a clay there. I'll tell you a little something that's
How
technically
dare
true.
you? How fucking dare you compare me to that monster? Are you joking?
Tell us what happened.
Compare me to Clay.
Tell us what
Yeah,
happened.
we're out
That
of
man,
Pop-Tarts.
I would never steal another woman's breadsticks. How fucking dare you?
We're out of Pop
Right,
Tarts.
So you
I
have
think we've got
different.
popcorn.
Do you have peanut
Hey.
butter?
No one else care about the prince being dead?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get up and like go rummage around for popcorn because I'm very curious what's going on, and I love the smell of popcorn. I'm excited to watch her eat it, so I'm just like doing things.
I love Nahari.
Who told you this?
I swear I must have told you this at one point.
No.
You can just tell us now. That's
No.
fine.
Oh. So remember how we were up at Vasia's?
Yeah.
And he was like, I know Michael, blah blah blah. But he's kind of a dick, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
then-
Yeah.
He was saying, I don't know if you were there for this. I don't remember. It was kind of a weird day. But he was saying that my sister was kind of looking into the prince for some reason. So
Wait, who's your sister?
we're like, we're good with her, right? Are we? We're good
Can
with
we-
her.
Can
Is that
we
what's happening?
elaborate
Is this-
on for some reason? That's sort of like
I'm getting to that. Jeez, I'm getting to it. Also, Nahari, obviously this doesn't leave this room.
Of course.
it's just hard to evaluate how good we are with her unless we know she's not planning city domination, etc.
She might be, but that's not a problem for us, really, is it?
There's
She's
like
really
12
not.
people
Well-
doing that, right?
Really, really not. Okay,
Including
like
yourselves.
she's, and by the way, like she's well, within her rights to fucking control whatever part of the city she wants. Okay, she's doing a really great job, and she's doing lots of stuff for me. But anyway, so she was looking into the prince, and so she wanted to meet, and this is when I had Leah. So Leah and I went up to go visit her, and Leah was partying because obviously if she told me anything in confidence, Leah would probably blab it anyways, as much as I love her. But yeah, so then we talked, and she's like, I have to go do a thing. And so she left her phone, and she left her phone open, and I was reading the text, and I was like, oh my God, she's in danger. So then I was like reading through the text and whatever, and I got Leah, and we went and drove, and I found her car, and she was, I guess, I don't know. She had this meeting, and then I heard this like really ridiculous roar, and because I had my fucking hearing, vampy hearing stuff on, I just, like, it blew out my hearing, and I couldn't see anything, and it was really, really painful. And then I like basically was there, and then she was there, and she's like, it's okay, we're all good. And then on the car ride back, she told me that she was planning to kill the prince, and so she killed him.
ambushed
Or
and
she
killed the prince.
ambushed and got someone to kill him. But she
Good.
wouldn't tell me who. She just said it was like a hit person of some kind. And then she's also hired that hit person to go kill Michael.
Michael, and I take the popcorn like in a bowl and
Yeah.
and with a couple of chopsticks and just like put it in her lap.
I do not touch the chopsticks. I full palm the thing and I'm stuffing it in my mouth.
So
And I'm just like I'm enjoying her eating it and the smell.
Yeah, the popcorn goes everywhere as well.
grievances with Michael make sense. If he was a dick. By Kindred standards, even. Grievances with the prince or ambitions to power?
Part of the deal to get Michael was to take out the prince. That's something that Davine told you.
Huh.
Out of
So I guess they're
character.
kind of linked in a way.
I believe Davine told her why the prince had, like, why Michael did what he did, right?
Why the prince?
Because it was the prince who
The prince was the one who
Yeah.
set everything up.
Yeah.
took, like, found and took the notes from Winnie and enacted the plan and like basically manipulated Michael into turning Tess and yeah.
So anyway,
So that
the
could
prince
all
is
be
a
yeah.
piece of shit, and the reason I am here as I am is because the prince decided to turn me into a weapon, apparently. So
Right.
he dead.
How
You
did
need to
you
go
feel?
see
I can't believe I
Elysium
didn't
then.
tell you guys this.
Yeah.
This could. I mean, he was.
Sidebar. That's also how Lamia knew, because Lamia's sire was
Yeah.
sleeping with the prince, and
But what does that?
Yeah.
He was leaving Weirgate to it, right? So now what?
Good question.
You need to see Elysium.
Really? It's
Yeah.
one of those days then. All right.
Yeah. So,
Well-
anyway, it's kind of like neither here nor there, to be honest. It's kind of just like a really shitty dude who just got,
It's kind
and
of.
then hopefully my sire will get as well. So all's well that ends well, right?
Yeah. And there's no baggage with that? You're all right?
I mean, the guy who killed me, or killed, well, the guy who's responsible for my undeath is dead. The guy who is responsible for the torturous moments in my undeath is soon to be dead. Honestly, I don't even care who does it. The fact that it's being done is kind of cool. I was kind of on the fence because I was thought maybe I want to do it myself, but to be honest, I think it's probably better that I don't have any involvement.
All right. Sounds like you're pretty set.
Yeah.
If you have a little conflict of thoughts on that, I'm happy to lend an ear. It tends to sink in later, but well,
anyone who'd like to roll an insight on that,
I mean, I'm
or on whether you are conflicted at all.
Yeah, go for it.
does it count as a lie? A lie detector,
No,
or
it
is this
doesn't
more
count.
just
It wouldn't
body
count as a
language
lie.
and-
It would be.
Fair enough.
When you do insight,
Why did I roll 3 dice?
oh,
Wits insight.
Did you do
Makes
wits
sense.
insight?
I think I just did like insight. Oh, well, it's still the same.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think anyone really gets anything extra out of that.
Right. Anything else anyone's forgotten to tell anyone? Just
Chrys and I stopped by the bank that has my super frozen accounts just to kind of check it out. But we didn't get much out of it. I do appreciate you coming with me though. Thanks for that. We saw Saturday. He has agreed to take the slow route, help surveil the blessed. He actually saw my sort of enforcer leader, Cersei, I think, at least based on his description. But I didn't see her when I sort of stayed to watch. But yeah, he's he's gonna keep kind of surveilling and seeing what they're up to, and you know, I'll help as I can. I'd love to free up my funds, but I don't know. Like, it's definitely too risky to just go into the bank. They probably have some kind of surveillance. It's a bank, so without knowing how to take that out, I feel like it's too risky right now. But at some point, they do have my nest egg, and I would love to use it to help you guys set up some real security around here, around not just where you live, but your whole kind of area of influence eventually.
On notice of the bank, I want Chrys to remember about the symbol and that it was on a cast book. But like, wait, because there's books everywhere, right?
Yeah. She'd remember that she saw it on a book.
Oh wait, just like starts rifling through Cass's papers.
What the hell are you doing?
There was a thing, a necklace thing.
There was?
Oh, you inside.
Oh.
And do I find the book? Oh no. With the symbol of the necklace from the bank teller.
Where's the Sorani's Fables currently?
That is with Nahari.
Yeah, it was with me. I didn't bring it out, so it's actually still in my bedroom.
So you wouldn't find it.
Well, but she just said there was a symbol, and I was like, there is one more book. So I kind of run into the bedroom and bring it out.
It's that one. So the teller woman, who was very helpful, had a necklace on her of that. What is it? I knew it.
The symbol. So in the subtext context of the symbol's just part of an illustration, talking about during one of the fables where it's like it's basically like the asp, the snake, versus the scorpion. I can't remember. But yeah, it's basically for Nahari and for Cassius, the subcontext of that in the text is basically the enemy of the Hashen, the people that they've basically been fighting for centuries.
And for Chrys, she's like, well, I figured out where it was from. That's the end.
Yeah.
Mystery solved.
I think this is just a symbol for the blessed, maybe? Do I have any knowledge of like further meaning to it, Sheepy?
Cassius, you wanting to?
Yeah, I'll puzzle this out with you.
Okay. In that case, let me have a look here for what role it would be. It would be a intelligence academics with 2 extra dice. 1 extra dice for you, Nahari, because you are inducted, but you're not like you haven't spent that much time around the.
Is this anything to do with folklore?
It is not really, no.
Okay.
Almost, but no.
Not paying attention.
Rerolls are available, but it's only 1 dice for Nahari, and
Or is it just
it just FYI, it probably won't make that much difference. So it's down to you whether you want to reroll. But,
it's okay. I'll save it in that case.
No, not really anything specific. Maybe it's the blessed. Yeah.
It's the enemy, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe. I don't know if this helps us at all. I feel like if I can sneak in there without being seen, I can just unfreeze my accounts, but there's no way to know what kind of surveillance they have. So I think maybe this is something that we can backburner for a little bit.
Yeah.
We know a lawyer.
I mean, Also, if we need funds, I can just go steal some more cars. Oh yeah,
Funds.
you want to steal some cars?
Yeah, like I said, I love learning new skills. Why not?
Just
You want
don't-
to detect this car stealing, or
No, I've kind of figured out who's done it.
get double pay? I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
What?
Well, I'll leave it with you if you want to have a word with Mr. Hung. Let's don't like kill him though, because I don't think Cass has picked up his pistol yet.
Why would I kill the person who gives me the most money?
Well, yeah, well, right, not like kill, but he's also paying people to find you. So
Yeah, and how successful has that been?
well, I found you.
Yeah, after I told you I did it.
Well, yeah, it was pretty good questioning, if you ask me. But anyway, look. Oh, the info's there. Do what you wish with it. But just be aware that, there are people investigating.
Big whoop. What are they gonna do? Shoot me?
put you
They
in
do have a very
jail.
fancy gun.
I don't know. Expose you for what you are. Turns out that you can't arrest a Kindred.
How about this? How about
Other
you
people
take
get
all the
involved.
jobs and we just frame it on someone we don't like?
Well, yeah, that's sort of right in my grey area right now. But yeah,
Right.
That
I'll think
Nathan
on it.
guy was really shady. You could always frame him.
He could talk his way out of a noose.
Yeah.
Honestly, that man is slippery.
On that note, I can't help but think that despite my recent interests in poultry monsters and whatnot and dead bodies in parks, that the more imminent problem is perhaps on our doorstep. Or is he a problem? He seemed to take an interest in you, at least, Cass.
Who's this?
Nathan. Mr. Fortuna.
Oh,
He seemed
His borders have expanded. He was saying he was neighborly, and I guess was about as shifty as any other kindred I've ever seen. But he is close, and if he is in fact making deals with anyone else, it might be to our disadvantage. We don't know what the old guard are doing. We don't know what he's doing. And they're our two closest neighbors, I guess.
I don't know
Aside from
much.
Gorban, who's got a river between him and us, so unless he wants to get his feet wet, I'm not too worried right now. We do need to get rid of him and the Blessed, so maybe we should focus on them. I'm going to go and eat something.
You should do that. I might go poke about the Blessed a bit.
Oh, well, Saturday told me off for doing that. Because he's got it in hand or whatever.
where
Yeah,
is Saturday?
He apparently has some friends up there. He's pretending to be a homeless guy exceptionally well, I might
Sorry.
add. Yeah, he's definitely methoding that one. And so he's staying with his friends and surveilling. He didn't say we shouldn't be there. He mostly just said that it's very dangerous. So if you're good at being sneaky, then it's fine. But if sneaking is not so much your thing, then you should probably stay away. That's all.
He was way rude.
Yeah, my specialty is being seen. So,
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do today.
Well, are we?
You can help
going
us
to
get-
Elysium, or what?
well, I mean, listen, I need to find some animals. So, anyone know where we can buy goats?
Why
I
are
was
you
gonna put
buying
Pete
farm
Williker on it.
animals?
We gotta sacrifice some animals to Gravestone.
All right.
Also, does anyone know any like cow rituals?
Why
them
are
sacred?
you sacrificing cows? I guess.
Because he asked. We need like what? 4 cows, 2 goats, and a doe.
Wow.
Hmm.
But they have to be sacred cows, and I asked
Sacred
specifically
cows.
like what kind of sacred cows. He's like, whatever kind. So they just have to be sacred in some way, shape, or form,
Make it
which is
sacred.
super vague. Because like, what if I want them to be sacred to me? Like, can I just like
Can you?
make a religion
Well,
about
I'm
myself?
pretty sure all cows are sacred to some religions.
Like, I guess.
I don't know.
Who are you
Um,
sacrificing animals to, and why?
Man, you're really, oh god, you're gonna have to catch you up on some shit if you're gonna be rolling with us. Ooh, boy. You're not afraid of dogs, are you?
No, I like dogs.
How about dogs that are as big as a building?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
all
about
right.
dogs that appear as people you've killed?
Oh,
What?
try that too.
This is going to be a long day. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mystical deity in the woods. Pardon me for being forward, but that's kind of what we're getting at there. Don't really know what he is.
I've been
Got a pretty good
sacrificed to
idea.
him.
What
Thanks to
does
Cass.
that entail exactly? Because you're okay and you're here. So
She had an extra arm before.
Grave state, mild possession, if you can call it that.
Oh, I can talk
Oh.
to dead people now, kind of.
Oh, that's right. I saw you do that.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, except I did a thing. Well, note to self: don't talk to dead people around dead bodies, because that's some ghoul shit. Learned that from Gravestone. Yesterday, actually.
So what will sacrificing these animals do for you?
Oh, it's payment for information.
So this deity has information about
Yes.
what kinds of things.
All sorts of things. It's several thousand years old as far as I can tell.
Wow.
So it probably knows quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds useful.
How up to date is his info, though? Or are you asking about old stuff?
What, do you need
Well.
dating advice?
It probably
More
doesn't know
along
much
the-
about Tinder.
More along the lines of, I mean, I was watching at the time, but when Mac asked him about the city, he was like, I don't really care about cities. He's more of a woods type of wolf. Makes sense. He's not a fox.
Well,
So,
he marks death, right? So, he knows stuff about dead people and the bridge between, well, the veil, I guess, between death and life. And, oh yeah, and he can basically cause the apocalypse at one point if we really, really want. So that's on the table.
Let's not do that.
Yeah,
That's just saying that's an
sounds
option.
Like maybe the nuclear option that we should probably avoid.
I have an idea on what I could do today. Seeing as we seem to have a lack of friends in all of this right now. Not none, but perhaps we could do with a few more. How about someone drops a little visit to Mr. Kale and just sees how he's doing after all of his... Well...
Not a terrible idea.
I'm not messing with that crazy. He's weird.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he'll make more sense now. Now I'm
Mhm.
actually here.
Well, the old guard took a chunk out of what he owns, whether that's for
Yeah.
good or ill.
I'm assuming he's on the back foot and he's seen my face before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an idea.
I do want to go up and... Oh, God. Who's the people or person that... The dregs. But they're kind of like in the blessed territory, right?
Yeah, that's not without risk.
Would Nahari know them since they're in that territory, or know of them? No.
I can't remember what Saturday said about sending us a message or something about how it's going, but
He's still technically part of our coterie, right? He's not like...
Saturday? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, just checking. I haven't really seen him in a while, and
Well, I don't know. Maybe he'll know about them as well. Like
Yeah?
he's that direction, so he'll probably drop in. I don't know.
How about the wilds?
actually, quite frankly, I don't think I've seen him since. When
Like
did
2
I
days
last see
ago
him?
when he was here.
When he was here and talking about blowing up the blast when I first showed up.
Yeah.
But we
Oh,
saw him
yeah.
just yesterday.
You've seen him like once, and that was the time since he disappeared.
Yeah, I haven't seen him very often.
Yeah.
Kind of just in passing.
But
He
that was
seems to
true
have-
when you were all living here under Winnie. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was like, I barely know the guy, and yet apparently we have a whole bunch in common. I'll have to talk to him about dead people one day.
Well,
What about chatting with the old guard to just see if anyone's willing to make some alliance against the blessed?
not it. I don't know.
I'm just throwing ideas out here, so you know.
No, it's
Bad.
possible. We just don't have anything for the old guard, as far as I can tell.
Well, it's more of joining of interests, I guess, or same with Kale.
Hmm.
What about Talia? Don't you have a meeting with her or something
Yes.
soon?
Or something.
That's something.
3 days.
2 days.
Have you picked what you're going to wear?
Him
the
picking
thing.
what he's gonna wear? No. I'm picking what he's wearing.
Okay. Seemed to work last time.
Cass, a little bit of fire in your stomach.
Yeah,
Kelly.
he's not really paying attention at this bit.
Yeah.
I might. Does Elysium know the prince is dead?
We should tell them and ask them to join us.
Yes.
I'll go do that.
I'll go do
I
that.
mean,
with...
yeah. I was okay.
Well, we could
Yes.
all
We
go.
can all go do that.
Sure.
Team.
We could
team,
introduce
okay.
Nahari.
Yeah.
Cass can go have a nibble. Do you need
Yeah, you
company,
look like
Cass?
you
or are
need a nibble.
Might be all right.
You can find a doe or something
Might
at the
be
same
alright.
time that you can, you know.
I'm not going to be hunting for animals.
Do you want someone with you
Oh.
to stop you killing everything?
No.
Do you need? I won't push it, but
You're
offers
going
there.
for more human-ish food today?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
I don't know if I've seen this happen yet with you.
And
Not
you
that
won't.
interesting.
Why not? I'm very curious to see what
Because-
your type is. Is it that librarian girl?
No. Specifically, no.
Mm-hmm. He likes the ones that smell like mothballs.
I leave.
Yep. Where are you going?
I am going via the office where I tell P. Williker, like, I don't suppose you could find, like, sacred cows, goat, maybe
I-
doe.
I don't know what a sacred cow is, but you want
Okay, I'll get
some
back to you on that one. I need to do some research. But
livestock.
2 goats and a
Two
doe,
goats,
maybe.
A doe. No cows?
No cows yet.
No cows yet, but well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get all of them on order, and then we can always cancel the cows if they become unnecessary. How's that sound?
Or say something inappropriate on Twitter. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
I grab £500 from the safe,
All right.
and then I go to the book hole.
The coal you go. Do you just want to have a little pay and
Yeah.
eat?
I give her money, and then I hang out with the book club.
Okay. I do remember why your hunger's so high. It's because you failed really badly last time you went hunting. You only got 1 dot off.
That was it.
Yeah. So roll me a intelligence. Is it academics for like storytelling?
I think it's charisma etiquette because of the scene queen
Right. Yes.
hunting
Charisma.
type.
And that works with the. You can take your bonus for your speciality though.
Oh yeah, that's what it is for. Yeah.
Cass's version of hunting is going and talking to nerds.
I'm going to
That's a
reroll
success.
those.
But,
Is it?
It's a success, but it's not a resounding success. So it'll.
No,
be
I need to go from 4
Yeah.
to 1, so I'm going to reroll. That's 4
Okay.
successes.
Cool. That's good. You may go down to 1. As you are perusing the shelves, you strike up conversations. A couple of times, it's just not an opportune moment, but eventually you do get to the point where you've basically left a couple of people feeling good and a little bit daisy in the stacks.
That's how scintillating my conversations about nerd books are.
Absolutely.
I was right.
Slowly building a reputation as a pleasurable conversationalist. We'll just have to wait for Gladys to get jealous.
That's
okay.
me.
So Cassius has managed to sidestep his hunger problems, thankfully. What about the rest of you? Where are you going? What are you doing? What's the plan here?
Good question. Would I have ever been to Elysium before? Probably not, right?
No, you wouldn't have.
Okay.
So you guys going stealing cars or Elysium or Kale
There are
or,
a lot of ideas thrown around.
or Drag or what are you doing?
Incidentally, sidebar, the area where Dreg is, you guys now know is also the exit to one of the places in the maze, so.
Which I've still never been to.
We've never been to the maze, yeah.
No, Tess just like, what the fuck? What maze?
The-
I don't give a shit about a
Invited.
maze. Like,
The only reason Chrys went there is because literally dragged and was bored the entire time. Which, it was painful for Tash,
It's-
but that's...
And also vaguely annoyed that like Cass and Marlowe know her full name.
Yeah.
What's the plan?
I'm down for whatever you guys are, pretty much.
Elysium, go tell them the news.
Maybe
Convince
we
him
should.
to join.
Convince
Yeah,
them to join?
maybe we should frame it in like a not blaming your sister kind of way.
No.
Yeah, that probably we shouldn't tell them.
How would we do that? How did I get this information then?
No, but do you want them to know that she did it?
No. Just probably get fucking
my
staked for
face.
that.
I am not the person who lies here.
Maybe
Yeah,
they already
clearly.
know.
Um.
Ask if you can contact the prince.
Yeah.
And when they're like, he's
Interesting.
not picking up anymore. Mind you, it's not like there'll be an answer machine saying he's dead.
Would you like to send a request through the NOS messenger system to request a visit to Elysium?
Sure. Why would we go through the NOS to go to the Elysium?
Because that's how you let people know that you're going into their territory.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, sure.
The
yeah.
message, they are when you kind of like put the request through, it is returned because that is the territory of Nathan Fortuna.
Elysium is?
Mm-hmm.
That
I didn't hear it, but
bitch.
I saw it. That bitch.
That bitch.
Oh dear.
Guy.
Okay, he is moving a little quicker than I would like him to.
He seems like kind of a problem.
Would you like to request?
Kind of?
Would you like to request entry and like specifically a visit into Nathan Fortuna's territory?
Well, we need to speak to him.
Do we though?
Well,
Now that we know what he...
well, we don't need to do anything, but we can also
could just pull. Can we pull the Elysium back? I wonder what they offered him.
Oh, I don't
Well,
know.
we got no way to contact...
If he knows, so here's the question. If he knows that the prince is dead, he could easily be setting himself up to be the new prince,
When
right?
did
He
this
could be doing
happen?
what we
Fucking
wanted to do.
Fuck that. Not on my watch. That guy is a menace.
While we're here-
When did the prince thing happen? Like how long ago? Or like how
Few
we
days.
didn't hear you. A few days.
This week.
This week, like yesterday, or this week, like 6 days ago?
I'm like in the middle of that. A few days ago.
Well, great. Okay.
Sorry, I just kind of needed to process everything. It was really weird.
Well, yeah. Well, we can't be surprised that other people have moved on it. Like our first thought was, let's move on it.
How would he even know?
I do not know.
Seems to be well connected.
We're
Why don't we
gonna
ask for
well
them?
connect him to a fucking carjack.
How about we send a message to Elysium to come visit us?
Well, there's no one there
We
now.
can't because
Oh, they don't. They not.
No, they're
I
part
thought
of
we just
Nathan
have to-
Fortuna's property.
I don't know if that's what I mean. Okay, well maybe
Yeah, but
I
they're
can...
in its property, aren't they? Or have they cleared off?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I will ask the NOS because they will know
That's what I was
Can
going to
we
say.
ask
Let's
the
chat to
NOS, I guess?
Kafka.
if they know where to
Oh.
fuck to. Do they know where the Elysium Kindred have gone?
Would you like to go and speak to the Nosferatu?
Yeah, apparently.
Carrie?
Are they gonna be in fucking Nathan Fortuna's territory? Because I'm looking at that
Yep.
little quadrant between us and the NOS, and I want to carve it out.
They are not. They are in their own territory.
Well, at least
I want to
there's
know
that.
who's on that little corner because I want it.
The corner?
The space between the NOS and us,
Well, you're
like
gonna
that
have to
little block.
talk to Nathan about that, I
I
guess.
wonder how they feel about being surrounded as well.
It's one of my questions.
Well, let's go ask him.
Yeah.
And I'm
Um,
going to go chat with Kale. I've got a question or two for him as
I
well.
was gonna say Kafka's a little. He's really good at getting secrets.
I'd love to meet
Yeah,
him.
you are not talking to him.
He's my friend.
Yeah, he's the person who has taken advantage of you the most.
I doubt
Clearly.
that's true.
You get the shitty end of the deal every time you talk to him.
You don't know that.
We
I don't
should
know.
Definitely go.
You
together.
haven't been there,
I have been there.
has she?
Do you want the Nosferatu knowing where you are in a hurry? Are you... How...
Well, I can't just hide here, forever. And I mean,
Makeover.
I'm
got
just
wigs.
wondering if we...
yeah,
sort
we
of-
already changed my look. We already, I'm going by a different name than I was before. The Blessed do know this name. I could just use another name.
Yeah.
For this evening, let's have a nom de plume.
Sure.
And hope they don't know what you look like.
Yeah.
I like Clara.
Sure, Clara.
Alright. Okay.
That'll do. Sure. Well, let's go have a chat with Kafka. And
Are you going as well, Marlowe, or are you going to go?
I'm gonna go with, because I'm curious what's happening with Elysium, because I might want to go there.
And-
But it,
Also, Chrys does need binders, so the more the merrier.
yes, yes.
She's not
So
pleased about
far-
this.
Random answers from him seem to be the most.
But she is aware of it enough to like subtly request helpers to make sure that she doesn't.
Usually.
Yeah. Okay, you head to the Nos. After a functionary wait, you hear, see, etc. The arrival of Kafka, who comes and sits down, hunches down with you.
You didn't do the spooky thing this time.
Oh, man's busy.
What,
Yeah, I hear there's lots of stuff going on right now.
So much intrigue, so much interest. What are you gonna do?
Ask questions, I guess.
Not if you already know the answers.
Give answers then, I guess.
Always. Do you have questions?
Always.
We have answers as well.
More questions about how you're feeling.
Tip top. Couldn't be better.
Surrounded by Nathan Fortuna, really?
We ain't surrounded by anyone.
Has he tried to move in on you guys?
What, here? Wouldn't matter if he did. This isn't where we live. This is just where you find us.
Interesting.
Very sensible.
It's actually
Very
a very smart
sensible.
call, yeah.
Very sensible. Would you perchance happen to know where the Elysium boys have gone to, or are they still at their old residence?
Would you like to rephrase that question into two questions?
Are the Elysium boys still in the building, otherwise known as Elysium, or formerly known as Elysium?
No. Second the prince died, they scarpered.
All right, so you know that.
Public knowledge, I guess.
Yeah. Scarpered where? I wonder. Would you happen to know?
Oh, yes.
Right. How much do we want to know? I'm not that bothered.
Well, I feel that's why you want. Oh,
Well, a little bit, but if they're not there anymore, then...
How you
Have they
doing,
joined-
Chrys?
there's just a lot of.
I heard you went to go see your sire.
Maybe. How do you know that?
Really?
Yeah. It's worth asking, so I can do better next time.
Did he try and sign you up?
Do you?
I'm not giving you free information, Kafka.
Alright.
Um.
How's he doing?
What's it to you?
So where's Mr. Langdon? Do you know? And I'll tell you how our friend Vasir is doing.
Deal.
How good is this, Kafka? And she's gonna shake
You're
hands.
doing so much better.
Nice work.
Okay.
Right.
Weirgate.
Oh, you're a dick.
Now your turn.
Vasir is still undead.
There you go.
Dude. This is
Should we get more specific, or, we're just gonna play?
No, I was just curious how your sire was doing. It's not really pertinent information for me.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's good.
While I'm here, do you mind sending a message over to Mr. Kale? Wouldn't mind
course.
swinging by.
You requesting a meeting, or you just visiting territory?
I'd just like to pop and say hello to him, so yes, a meeting.
Meeting. Alright.
Non-formal.
Just
If such a
gets
thing
up
exists.
and wanders off for a second, comes back, and crouches back down.
Murky buckets.
Is this going to be another meeting where you try and figure out what questions you want to ask me? Because I've got all day, but
Me? Oh, well,
No,
we
just-
wanted.
We
were asking
By the way,
about the-
who went exactly?
I think the four of us.
All four of you. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know him, so I'm just kind of like,
yeah, don't. Well, we asked, and you're being super evasive.
What'd you ask?
Well, I asked where Mr. Langdon was.
Which I
and then you were like,
answered.
Weirgate.
Well,
yeah.
Isn't
okay.
it pertinent information to know that he's still alive and also still in the city? Feels like I gave you quite a lot there.
Oh, he's still alive?
Yeah, as I said.
Okay.
Well, do you know where he is? Well, I don't.
It doesn't matter.
Do we have anything we want to give up?
I personally want to know what the price is for getting rid of Nathan Fortuna.
Dunno, it depends who you ask to do it.
Not that that particularly interests me, but I can imagine that the old guard might be wanting to move in sometime soon.
Could be. Who knows what they're thinking.
If I give you a little tidbit on them, the old guard, can you try to fill in the blanks for me?
On the old guard?
Hmm.
Could do.
When we met them, I had a few of them that smelled real bad.
That's what happens when you work with dead bodies.
Hmm. One of their leaders, then, just seems to be a puppet.
A puppet?
Some kind? I don't have the terminology, but maybe you do.
He's not a puppet.
Hmm. Why does he smell so bad? Dead body?
Does he eat them?
I do.
Ew.
Well, I was just wondering.
What exactly are the old guard going to do without the Elysium around then?
It's a good question, isn't it?
We could go ask him.
Well, they seem to be wanting to move more and more north.
Oh, what, that whole
So-
thing with Kale and them?
Yeah. See, Kale lost a bit of ground.
Hmm.
How's he doing?
Yeah, he's good.
Good. Good.
Suppose we'll see a little later, or you will.
Yeah, well, I'll just go ask him, in fact. Should we set up a meeting with... Do you want to have a little powwow with the old guard?
I can just go over, I'm sure.
Sure.
Don't use your phone this time.
No phones.
No phones.
They were particular. All right,
Yeah,
well...
why are they weird about the no phones thing? What exactly would it take to get that kind of information?
Why they're weird with the phones?
I'm looking for something... Currently we have, so just out of character. So currently we have the old guard, which is moving very fast. We have Nathan Fortuna that's moving really fast. And we need to go see Kale. So I'm trying to figure out who's the bigger target right now. The old guard or the bigger threat, like the old guard or Nathan Fortuna.
I think out of character, like from what we know, it'd be Nathan, right?
He has some personal stuff.
He is kind of a dick.
We don't know anything about the old guard, really. That's the
No.
problem.
Nope.
It just smelt funky and
I'll ask Kale when I go.
I mean, I think Nathan's probably the scary. Well, I don't know anything about the old guard, so I really can't talk to them. But
They're pretty militaristic from what we
Tell
know.
you what, seeing as Chrys here is an old mate of mine, you got a favour with us.
I'll try pulling that with.
Hey,
Isn't that a pretty big favor?
we know quite a lot, and there's a lot of things I can tell you for the right price. You want to know the secret about Nathan Fortuna? You want to know the secret about the old guard? Or you can just go and talk to them and try and figure out yourselves. It's up to you.
There are people that want us dead as well, that we do know about.
Yeah.
Mind you, the blessed are further away. So,
Well, they're not
Tip
going to
for
be
tat.
doing anything anytime soon.
Say that.
Hmm?
Why'd you say that? Like what?
Because it's true.
They're a little preoccupied.
can I insight him as he says that?
Sure.
Because I really want to know if that is true.
Yeah, I do
aggravating.
too.
And if he's just baiting us into, like, I know something you don't know, and I'll trade an entire huge favor just to tell you something small and
He will
trivial.
do that though. That's why Chris said it.
Okay, so that's 6.
So, oh, you got a crit?
Another
crit
crit.
today.
I'm
Nice.
gonna do it as well just to see.
Oh, a crit there as well. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 5.
I'm not
And-
inciting.
Wow.
What the hell is happening?
Holy shit! What?
We see you.
3 crits.
Chris knows that he's
that
fishing,
is-
like baiting.
I see
so.
you, Kafka Sully. I see you.
It is true, but it is also bait. However, I'll give you this on the insight. It was also bait about Nathan Fortuna. It was not about the old god.
Interesting. Ooh.
Secret, eh?
Oh, okay. I want to try something first. Do you know a man named Cass?
Who?
No, you haven't heard of him?
We've
Might want
heard
to
of
write this name
pretty
down.
much everyone.
Might want to write this name down real quick. We'll give you this, and if you can figure this out, then
Tess,
I'm just curious. Cassius Banks. You write that down?
Name rings a bell. But I don't understand why.
Did Cass tell us about the squirrel thing and everything?
I
I'm
Squirrel?
trying to remember. You did, didn't?
I don't know
I
what you're
don't know
talking
if-
about. Maybe.
It was the word, like, if I
Yeah,
say the word squirrel,
squirrel.
then they'll know.
Yes, I did.
yes,
You
yeah,
did?
it's the group one. Yeah, it says so.
But
Not
they
squirrel.
they have already played that card to.
Oh, true. Yeah, we
Sorry.
already got that.
It wouldn't be a surprise to him that you know about Squirrel.
Mm-hmm. It's just fun to see him squirm like that sometimes. Just be like,
Oh, yeah.
ah, this person you don't know. All right, well, I've had enough meetings with Nathan Fortuna for a lifetime.
Who hasn't?
Or, yeah, right? But I'm curious about the old guard. Because they are our neighbors, and we haven't interacted with them that much. Do you think our friend would be mad if we traded in this favor just to get some info?
I think yes, but he's quite mad anyway today.
Is this favor going to keep us alive for longer? Or,
Ideally,
well, yeah.
if the
You
old guard.
asking me or?
No, just more of a, like,
Because I can answer that if you like.
By all means.
Might save the whole
Sure.
city.
Wouldn't it be? in
I'm
your best-
inciting
what?
that. Fuck that.
Something
I'm
like-
inciting that
Okay.
shit.
Good idea.
Wouldn't it be in your best interest if
That's a
it's
crit.
a citywide problem to just tell us anyway, then, Kafka?
So that's a 5 on my part.
Why
Yeah,
would you
is that-
say that, Chris?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Why would you say that?
Well, if you're worried about the city, unless you don't live here, is it not a problem for you as well if the whole city goes down?
Not really.
Bit harsh.
As always.
Would anyone like to reroll?
I got a 5, but can I reroll?
Oh, you got a crit again.
I
Yeah.
didn't roll at all.
The night of crits.
You can reroll too if you like.
Who, me?
Yes, if you
Oh,
want to. You did get a 5, so it's down to you.
It's 3 I can roll,
No,
right?
it's still a 5.
He is being serious. He is not lying.
Does it scare? Do they scare you?
No.
I think this is maybe something we should know.
Can't use a favor if we're dead.
He looks at you, Nahari, with like a slight smile because it's the first time you've spoken up. Just stares at you for a bit. It's uncomfortable.
Gonna step in front. Focus. He'll be fine with it.
If we need to know, we need to know. So
Tell us all that you can about the blessed, or not the blessed, the old
the-
guard,
The old god.
including that little secret you were talking about.
This was a big favour, right?
It is indeed.
Why don't you tell us about all of them? All 3?
No.
Oh, negotiation. How about 2?
No.
1.5?
I'll tell you about none of them, and you can keep the favor if you like.
the old guard's great. If we everything you know, thanks, Kafka.
Hmm.
We can trade.
Is it
for-
really that much?
Oh. Have you ever had a neighbor who you're like, wow, they seem a bit weird, but whatever. And then you look in their basement and there's tons of dead bodies. Turns out they're a serial killer.
I really think this is something we should probably know.
Yeah,
Go
Yeah.
on.
does seem that way.
Is that kind of how the old guard are acting right now? All nice and neighborly, but a bunch of skeletons in their closet.
After I start to tell you, our favor is repaid. Our friend who you procured for us, that favor is done. And we are now even again. Agreed?
Once we hear everything, yeah, not just after you start, Kafka.
That is fair.
Yeah.
And you understand if we do not deem that it's enough information, the deal is off still.
Oh,
You
have a
can
nice
still
day
owe
then.
us.
Yeah, there's no return policy here.
If there's no honor among thieves, then
You
Do-
fucked Chris
we want you
over.
to-
when? I taught Chris valuable lessons for a very low price.
I've just
For you?
we just dealt together very well, I think. I corrected him about the starting and all the info
I'm
thing.
impressed.
See,
Fine, fine. Just the favor will be repaid.
Deal. So, what do you know about the Sabbat?
we probably know nothing, right? All of us. Out of character.
Probably not much, no.
Let's pretend we know nothing, Kafka.
Alright. So, say the Camarilla are law and order, for what that might be worth. Say the Anarchs are fighting the system, you know, the ones who want to be separate but similar. The Sabbat are fucking assholes. Basically, what you have is you have infiltrators who are evil and wanting to kill and dominate humans. They don't give a shit about the Masquerade. All that stuff. That's the old god.
Okay.
So they want to get all of us killed, pretty much?
Like now they're doing this?
Well, right now, no. Right now what they're doing is they're building horrible flesh monstrosities in the basements of houses in their territory, preparing an army of them to attack all the rest of you.
I'm really hoping that that is a metaphor for something.
No, that's just what's happening.
What?
Oh my god. Ew.
Flesh monsters.
Is that why you smelled so... Ugh.
Why it smelled like death. You take a dead body, yeah, craft it into something new, give it a little bit of life, off it trots.
But... one of the people that we met smelled that bad. Does that mean one of them?
No, that's just one of their leaders. He has a gift for making things look different than they look. A little bit of facial reconstruction, you know.
I did see a little shimmer on his face there. Fuck, I knew that guy was bad news. Okay, so then how did he get through Kale?
Probably didn't want to get killed by zombies.
Flesh monsters
basically.
in the basement. Very good reason to go, yeah, okay, have that little bit of territory you want.
Okay.
Also, Kale has his own agenda.
Yeah, no
Is
shit.
there anything they're afraid of?
Fire, probably.
I mean, aside from the regular stuff.
And how many people know that this is what the Blessed is doing right now? Not Blessed, the old guard is doing.
Just us.
This
And
seems like a...
I'm assuming probably Kale.
No, not as far as we know.
So then the reason that Kale would have given up territory was probably not because of that.
Probably not.
Then how did they get that extra territory?
Probably something you should ask Kale.
I'll do that.
Okay.
So this plan for city domination.
I don't know if it's city domination. They might just want to kill everyone.
Oh, right.
Oh, great.
That's nice.
So this whole idea that they were trying to reestablish order with the Elysium.
You really
Or
shouldn't
July.
trust things some people say.
Yeah, well, we didn't trust it. It was just something that they said. Then we're like, okay, well, can't really verify right now.
I think this is more of a just Memoria kind of problem. If everyone in the city dies. Guys.
Yeah, this isn't personal, at least. So
Is it
There's that.
personal?
They're right on the doorstep of Memoria, though.
well, yeah. but-
I mean, are you willing to give up a little bit of territory when they come knocking?
Fuck no, they're terrifying. We need to have more people kind of rally to push them back, I guess.
Good luck with that. You're not the most popular.
No shit. Thank you, Kafka.
I didn't do it.
You say that. Who else doesn't like us? I thought we did all right.
I mean, let's take Nathan Fortuna. What was your reaction to him snapping up a whole load of territory?
Damn, guy moves quick.
Well,
You've
you know,
made
murder
waves. You've taken on soldiers. You snapped up territory. You're a threat.
So is
Well-
everyone.
We're actually quite nice. If anyone would just, like... No, never mind. I forget this isn't the real world. And never mind. Carry on.
Everyone's been snapping up territory and is a threat. Like,
Hell,
why-
even Hell took up more territory, didn't they?
why are we the bad guys here?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're the bad guys or even that people think you are. I'm just telling you why they may not be willing to listen to or work with you.
Oh.
Flesh-eating monsters in the basement want to expose the Masquerade and get everybody killed is probably an enemy that others will unite with us against.
And
If they
why would
believe
they
us.
believe you?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I'm willing to put this one against, well, way above mine. While we're here, actually, Baba Yaga. She's still kicking about?
Oh,
Never mind.
Really?
She was a
Why-
Nosferatu. Didn't you know? 200 years ago, anyway.
Why does this not bother you? I mean, exposure of the Masquerade would expose you as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, why are you guys not? I mean, if they might not believe us, Kafka, but why would they not believe Carrion?
I'm sure they would.
So, do you want to? I feel like this is a bigger problem than just us and you guys. Maybe we should one of those like come together and
You have an escape plan?
fight the flesh monsters. You might not care, but it's bad business if you have to go set up somewhere else, right?
Yeah, you seem well established here. Why would
Sure.
you want to leave?
Well, millions of, a big number of flesh-eating monsters tearing around the city is a very good reason to leave.
Right, but why would you be okay with that happening? If we offer
At what
help-
point did I ever say I was okay with it
Well, that-
happening?
Well, if you're not okay with it happening, then maybe you would be willing to back up Memoria if we ask others to join with us against them.
And take a side?
Just in the informational sense.
We follow rules and have morals. I don't know about yourself.
Well, we're definitely not okay with the flesh-eating monsters killing everyone in the city side of things. So, similar rules and morals on that. Would you be willing to provide this information because you're trusted to others so that maybe we can join forces with them against the old guard?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What price?
Mage boon. One for each. It's the
One
price.
for each. Whoa. Okay.
There's a reason
are
why
getting-
no one knows about the old guard.
You're getting something
Have
out of
they-
this, though.
Yeah.
You're already getting something out of this.
What
You're
would that
already
be?
getting the ability to stay in the city and not have flesh-eating monsters kill everyone you've been working with and all of the connections you've established and all of the investment that you've made into the city so far. You'd have to leave. You'd have to basically completely pack up and leave Weirgate.
Unless
We're okay with that.
unless they have a deal, you have a deal with the old guard. You keep quiet. They leave you for last.
Are you
This might
helping
be
them
worth
to
a
keep
major
it
boon.
under wraps? Like Carrion? You helping the old guard keep their true flesh monster intentions under wraps? Is that what's going on right now?
Chris. Please roll me a charisma persuasion.
Persuasion? Oh,
Mhm.
that's so mean. Well, got 2 out of 2. Which is probably not enough.
So all through the questioning, he's been silent. When Chrys asks, he looks at Chrys and just goes,
Great. Great. Well, okay. Shit.
language.
Shucks.
I'm going to go have a chat with Kale, provided the invitation's accepted.
Accepted. He's expecting you.
Wonderful. If anyone would like to join, feel free. I don't know, maybe we should have a chat with Cass on the Major Boone thing.
Well, he needs to know that
I'll give him a call.
Chrys is taking that head tilt as a yes, like we're helping them obviously. But yeah.
Could we
It depends what you mean by helping them, really, but
yeah, I mean this with Kafka, it's everything's open to interpretation. But that's how Chrys is taking it. So
He's being paid to not say anything.
Yeah.
Like,
or like there's something in there.
Anyone coming with?
Well, I don't
I'll
don't
come
know
along,
him.
but I don't. My head's just gonna spin.
Good
Looking
idea.
at you guys talking.
are we
After this,
done here? Can I?
Is there anything else you can provide for us information-wise within the scope of this?
Tell you
For-
what, you have more questions, come back free of charge. I'll answer them about the old god.
it is just more of a general question, but is this the worst thing that's going on in the city right now, or is this just one of many things like this?
Yes.
You're asking 2 questions at the same time, Marlowe.
Yes, what people quite often do in polite, normal conversation. Is this
Is
the worst thing going on in the city, Mr. Kafka? I would very much like to know.
Could be.
Fantastic. I'll see you later.
Bye, Marlowe. Marlowe and Kafka. God. Okay. Well, I think like when Kafka and Chrys had a chat, it was basically asking about Vassia, but obviously now Chrys knows, so well, if you how is the stuff with Mouse with your friend going?
It progresses.
He's not going to be a problem for me.
You're fine.
Can I get my suitcase back? It's a
I'll just
joke.
buy you a new one. Oh my god.
It was. I was joking.
You know, if you were gonna go meet with the old god, Chrys, I would have warned you off it.
I appreciate that because don't really like the idea of hanging out with Frankenstein's monster that much.
It's not really quite like that, but
No, I mean it's not the same fleshy monster.
similar, I guess. But it's more like taking a human and like squishing them down and reshaping them. From what I understand, anyway.
Not a fan of that. Oh, anyway, I'm not a fan of that whole.
Body horror.
Just leave it alone.
Who was
You
that?
know-
Who was that person who made the fly?
I watched
Cronenberg.
the. I was gonna say I watched the film and he was giant and it was.
Yeah.
Although I wonder if any gangrels turn into a giant fly. Distracted. I'm sorry. That'd be terrible. Okay. Well, if you want to hang out anytime,
Yeah,
let me know.
sounds good.
I feel like we need to leave now.
The city or just
Yes.
yeah. We're still hopeful that you'll manage to deal with this situation. You, as in a city as a whole, but
just Memoria, no. Great.
well,
Okay. Well, bye. Thanks. Have a nice night.
always do.
Come on, we're going.
I just follow her out.
It's like, it's time to leave now. Okay,
And-
we need to process information.
As you're walking out, Kafka's just crouching there, like, staring at you.
Call Cass.
Marlowe's waiting outside. He didn't leave without.
While,
Hi.
while you're having a little powwow, I'm just going to go pee.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Are all cities like this, or is it just this one?
All
I've only-
cities are like this.
Yeah, I don't. Are they?
Can't
Cities
all
have
be.
their secrets, but
The fact that they are willing to break the masquerade is
Yeah.
insane to me. I feel like this is definitely not normal, and we absolutely have to deal with it as quickly as we can.
Yeah, that's a whole other level of
Yeah, and
darkness, I guess.
I feel like Cass is gonna know more about Sabat than we do. Because I have no freaking idea.
hope so.
I'm calling Cass now. Like I'm on the phone. I'm calling him.
That seems way calmer when he picks up the phone. Evening.
Oh. Sound like you got some?
Yeah.
Alright, don't gloat. We have a problem. Another one.
We always do.
Yeah, what do you know about the Sabat?
Right. I'm going to need you to hang up and we'll meet back at the Haven.
We have a meeting with Kale first. We'll meet you after that.
Okay. If that's our problem, that's really bad. So I will fill you in somewhere that's safer.
Sounds good. We'll keep it on lock until we see you back at the Haven.
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll hang up and say we're gonna keep this quiet for now. Let's go talk to Kale and then we'll go back and talk to
Yeah.
we'll just have a little discussion. Apparently it's bad. So yeah, I mean not that we didn't already know that, so
Yeah, well, what isn't in our lives or deaths? I
I'm
don't know.
so glad Cassius managed to eat before hearing that.
yeah.
You do have some allies, though, don't you? I mean, your sister, your sire.
I don't really know. I don't feel like he's
Tell me
gonna
about it. Tell me.
fight for the city. Like if Carrion can, then that's probably his
did-
solution too.
But they're trying to break the masquerade. I mean, that's not a single city problem.
No.
He made a point of specifically saying he didn't care about the city. I do wonder if he'll just take you somewhere else, Chrys. But it might not hurt to just call him and say, hey,
She
Sabat
just
and
said that
my
we're not allowed
neighbours.
to talk about it. And frankly, I
Let's-
trust Cass a little bit more than I trust Vassia.
Let's wait till we
Let's
talk to
look at-
Cass.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's go have a chat with Kale. Anyone that's with, tag along.
the way.
I,
the way.
he's,
We're all going.
I don't know how he'll cope with the accent change. If he gets upset, I guess just we'll figure that
Accent
out when we get
change?
there.
Oh, he used to be from
Um,
America.
I used to think I was from somewhere else, which, well, I thought he was, but more less well, in a metaphysical sense he was, but
Yeah, his
So-
better half, or actually no, I think honestly you might be the better half, Marlowe. His other worse half, Mac, is he sounds different when he's
Malkavian thing. So I
Okay.
heard. Right.
Interesting.
So
Way.
you head to Kale.
To Kales.
Who's going? Is it everyone?
I guess the four of us are together, right?
Oh, fun.
Seems that way.
Yeah, no real reason not to.
So you go into the maze, or the part of maze that Kale Katen owns. You meet Savante at the front of the door, stoic as ever, nods, shows you up into Kale's office, where he is sitting there. Currently just chilling, reading a book.
Good evening, Kale.
Yes. Morier, right? I don't believe I'd
The
have the
very same.
pleasure of speaking to any of you directly, so, it's a pleasure to meet you all.
Yes.
Tess Aquila. I'll
Charmed.
shake his hand.
We meet at the meeting.
It said, like, directly talk
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Clara, hi.
I'm Chrys. Hi.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet all of you, and you are, sir?
Marlowe.
Marlowe! Pleasure to meet
Yes. Likewise. Likewise. I have a few questions, and we were hoping for a little catch-up.
you. Catch up?
Well, recent events and such. Firstly, lots of people making moves over the city. We noticed that your territory has shrunk in particular, and just wanted to say hello to our neighbours. Distant neighbours at that, but
Hello.
how are you doing?
Very well, actually. I've had a very good day. How are you doing?
Yeah, interesting day. Challenging.
Oh.
Yeah. Are we going to have a chat about the old guard? Tess, do you want to?
You noticed the old guard moved in on your territory. We'd like to know if there's anything we can do to help. You, in particular.
In fact, I offered them the territory.
Why?
Mine was a little big. I didn't really like the shape, so
Had it for so
Insight
long,
that.
though.
Sorry.
Why now? Why change now?
Why change the shape now? Well, I was looking at a map, and I was like, you know what? That's very, very square and unappealing. I want to change things slightly. So, talked to Nathan, talked to Cyril, and yes, a much more appealing, interesting shape to the territory now.
And what was the difference between Cyril's and Nathan's offers?
Offers?
Well, I suppose they must have offered you something in return for that territory.
No? Should they?
I can't believe you didn't get something out of it.
If someone offered you, and he looks at you for a second, like up and down. If someone offered you a very lovely dress, would you then say, oh, I can't possibly take this without giving something back to you? No, it's a gift. You take a gift. You do not pay for a gift.
I always feel bad if I get a gift that's too expensive and right off the bat, but
I do not believe that even slightly.
Oh, there you go. Well, we're good. I'm relieved to hear that you're doing okay. How do you feel about the post-meeting events? Lamia went missing. I assume the meeting was set up in coordination with her, and
But she just hosted it.
oh, okay.
And given what she was planning for the city, I'm kind of glad that she's no longer around, wherever she may be.
You were aware, yes. She seemed like quite a piece of work. Quite a
Everyone
piece of
has
work.
their own plans, I suppose.
Indeed. What are yours?
Well, wouldn't that be nice to know?
You don't know your own plans. Oof. You are very
that-
behind in the game.
No, wouldn't that be nice, rather, for you to know?
No, I'm fine. It's much more fun when it's a surprise.
I'm not a fan of surprises, but maybe that's just me. What are your plans for the city?
For, like, my part of the city, or?
I suppose. I assume, well, some people have plans for the entire city, others just for their corner.
Interesting. None really spring to mind. I'm more, focused on my own, things currently.
Such as?
The things I'm doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Which are?
I'm sorry, I thought we were having a meeting. Is this an interrogation? Are you
We're-
police? Because
we
you have
are
to tell me if you're police.
No.
I do have to tell you if I'm police, but I can tell you that I am not.
Oh, wonderful. So, what was this meeting about?
We wanted to see how you were doing and seeing if you were being threatened out of your territory, or, as you said, you gave it as a gift. And it seems as though we've gotten our answer.
Well, I feel a little threatened now,
By
if that helps. Whoa. Officer, I must tell you, this woman came in and she was asking me all kinds of personal questions, and I only just met her.
I'm a very curious person. Forgive me.
Forceful, not really curious.
Forcefully curious?
Like it. It's a good description.
I have some perhaps a personal question you might be able to help me with.
Oh,
if
of course,
that is
sure.
all right. Perhaps I do not wish to interrupt the meeting for my...
No,
personal-
it's fine. I don't stand on ceremony. I can never find it.
Okay, well, perhaps we could... we'll discuss this when everyone else is... one Malkavian to another, as it were.
You're a Malkavian? So am I.
I've heard that you were in line to be Primogen.
I was.
You were Primogen?
No, I was in line to be Primogen.
Oh, you were, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, shame about that.
Is this what you wanted to talk after the meeting, or?
No, that was just a separate comment.
Oh,
perhaps.
okay.
But I'll wait until everyone is wrapped up and then we can...
I'm happy to end our meeting if you would like to have a discussion with your friend.
I've never met this man before. I'm afraid I can't call him a friend yet.
Oh. You're getting on so well. I can only imagine that you'd be friends.
A Malkavian
But
thing.
anyway.
I'll see you outside.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to stay here.
No,
you know.
me. Don't worry. You can stay here. Obviously.
thank
it's your
you.
place. Yeah.
Goodbye, Mr. Kitten.
A pleasure to meet you, Miss Silent. Stoic?
You.
Stoic. Miss Stoic.
Nicknames now.
Chrys has just walked out like,
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
following her.
Bye.
So Malkavians, huh? I just say to Chrys.
you
I
kind of
fucking hate Malkavians.
wrong.
I'm
with it
assuming you left
sometimes.
too, Tess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say that in his
No,
presence. Holy
because
fuck.
No.
The other two were like, we leave, and you hadn't said anything, and then you're just like, fucking Malkavians. So I was like, that could be interesting.
You
Yeah, I just
kinda-
like fucking put my hands over fucking Malkavians and walk out the door. No, I'd say it after I get out.
kind of roll with it, but that was a lot.
Like,
How does he maintain a territory?
it's like Mac on steroids.
Oh god.
No, not on steroids. On some kind of party drug.
Speed.
Maybe coke?
I don't know,
Ecstasy.
but it was not ideal. And now we know about now we know why he lost the territory part. So
Ugh,
I
always
couldn't
have my
tell if he was
doubts.
just being flighty or
Excuse me.
bless
if he
you.
was lying. Bless you.
Turns out he's the most dangerous of them all.
oh
yeah.
Huh?
Fucking turns on a
And Hari
dime,
just
that
assumes
one.
everybody's lying.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, everyone lies, so.
I need a fucking drink after that. Jesus Christ.
My brain feels like mush after everything already. It's only freaking, what time is it?
It's like,
It's
probably
only
close
some
to
o'clock.
midnight. It's close to midnight, yeah.
It's not
Can
even
you
halfway
imagine
done,
me as a
Tess.
narc? God,
Yeah, that's kind of
funny.
hilarious, actually.
Right? Oh, God. Cute that he thought, though. I mean,
You were very take charge. Which
You
is a
are
good
kind of
thing.
bossy.
first of all, it's not bossy. It's being a boss. So jot that down. Second of all, do you want to go get your nails done?
Why? They just turn into claws sometimes.
Can you bring your claws out and I can paint them?
No, you cannot paint them.
Please? No, hurry.
Sure.
I will fight you.
Uh,
I'm just like both of them.
I would have said Nahari like super quietly, by
do
the
you,
way.
do you have a destination? Are you waiting for Marlowe, or do you have...
We're waiting for
We're
Marlowe.
gonna wait
Yeah,
for
we'll
Marlowe,
wait.
yeah.
We're just hanging out outside front
Yeah.
and being girls.
In that case,
Fun stuff.
we'll switch back to Marlowe and Kale.
Mr. Or Kale, if I may call you that.
It is my name.
I shall call you that then.
Works out well for both of us then. I won't be confused.
You are perhaps the more experienced of the two of us when it comes to being a Malkavian. I believe you've been one for longer than I have. I have this thing, and I wanted to know if it was unique to myself. I seem to be plagued by a dead person. Well, a dead kindred.
A dead kindred?
Well, I seem to be able to talk to him, and I'm
Right.
not sure if it's actually happening or not.
Okay.
Have you ever talked to a dead kindred?
Yes.
And they talk back and...
Sometimes.
Okay, well that's good. Was there... If you don't mind me asking...
Have
if
you
this
ever
is...
met an alive kindred?
Yes, I take your point. Have you ever spoken
Sorry.
to a kindred?
Josh,
I was waiting for it to be fair.
Josh's little smile made me crack.
I was waiting for it, for the correction. All right. Have you ever spoken to a kindred that has met their final death? You know, like been cut into pieces or burned or staked?
Oh, absolutely.
And you talk to one of them and they've talked back?
Sometimes.
Right. Okay. Was it a profound experience for you, or just mildly inconvenient, or...
Honestly, it's just one of those things that happens, you know? And
Right.
like the first time it happens, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm slightly past that phase.
Right, yeah, no, me too. And now it's just
Okay.
kind of like, oh, Aunt Jemima, it's lovely to see you. How are you doing? How's hell?
Nice. Jemima was close to you, were they, or...
Oh, she deserved to be in hell, definitely.
Oh, okay. Is it your sire that you speak to, or other ones too?
I don't really control it. It's just whoever happens to be in the vicinity and turns up,
Oh,
you know?
you get different ones.
Sure.
Oh, that'd be, yeah. I seem to have one repeatedly.
Right. I assume
Do you
it's your sire?
Yeah. Do you think there's anything profound to it? Or do you think it's just a... Like, do you think there might be a purpose there, or...
I'm going to need clarification as to the question.
Okay. Is it do you think that when we see these people that they have genuinely useful advice for us that we should listen to, or do you think they're more like demons that are sent to torment us?
You're assuming they're real.
Yes, I am.
Assuming
Okay.
they're real, then either question could be true and false at the same time.
Yes, that was where I started with my questioning.
Okay.
So you have not made a decision on that, I assume?
I consider them all to be an interesting conversation and useful from what I get from them. Ultimately, it's nice to see old friends.
Okay, so... Right, perhaps too many questions I have asked then. I appreciate your counsel on this. It's, yeah.
Always happy to help out a fellow member of the clan. There are so
Yeah.
few of us.
There are. I don't meet many. Where are they?
Well, there's one
Is that
downstairs.
strange? Oh, right. Well, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. We've got one as well.
Not quite as rare as Tremere.
Used to work for you. Well, yes, so I hear. Yes.
But that's only here because they all left and got taken and disappeared. And...
Do you know about that? Like, why it happened and...
I presume it's because someone wanted to kidnap Tremere.
Yeah. Well, I know who, but I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I know who was involved with it. But...
Oh, yes.
So... But I don't know the why.
It is a question I pondered.
If I give you the who, do you think you would be able to hazard a guess as to the why?
Are we talking about the true perpetrator, the one who was behind all of the orders and all of the kidnappings, or are we talking about the mindless goons who carried out said...
Not the goons. The, yeah, the guy, I believe, who was... Stepping out of character here, because I'm 90% sure that we had ascertained it was the prince. But
Really?
I also think I may have made that up. Can anyone help me?
I think all we know is that Julian Flax is the guy who they met in the daytime that they also saw feed, and he fled to the court.
I just blurred two memories. So I remembered the prince paying off Clay to clear up afterwards.
Yes.
So yeah, I got confused. Marlowe will now realise that actually I need some sleep. Yeah.
It's only midnight.
Yeah, it's been one of those days. We've heard some troubling news around town, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
that's all right. Well, hopefully it won't be troubling for long. Are you safe here? No violence coming your way?
Is that a threat?
No, more of a concerned Malkavian, just seeing if you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
That'll do me then.
Tell you what, seeing as this is a question I've been pondering for a while, as to the disappearance of the Tremere, you said you knew who?
Well, a few things. I know some of the goons that took them.
See, that's as far as I managed to get, is the goons. I couldn't get any further.
Yeah. I don't have much else, sadly. I know who cleared up afterwards, and I know who paid for the clear up afterwards, but to many that wouldn't be a surprise.
So you don't have any leads at all?
I have leads, but not for this case. There's too many things going on currently. Random question, you ever met Baba Yaga? I feel like the more people I ask, someone eventually will just say yes.
Isn't she dead?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's a whole other thing. No. So it sounds like you probably have got further with this than I have.
It seems like I have, yes.
Would you like me to help? I'll share any information that I get.
Tell you what. I'll set up a meeting for you with my Tremere, and you can have a word with him.
Okay.
And we'll see where it goes from there. Quite
Nice.
difficult to talk to, but
Okay, well that's unexpected. Interesting. Well, I shall look forward to when would be good.
I'll send you a message.
Okay, well that will work. I have another meeting to go to now, so I must scoot. But thank you for your counsel. It's nice to know I'm not the only one.
It was interesting meeting you.
Thank you.
You've given me a lot to ponder.
Good. Marlowe pausing for a few seconds to be like, I don't think I told him anything. Right. Well, my coterie will be waiting. So, yeah. Good evening.
All the best.
And then he's just shuffling out like, what did I say? What are you wondering about? Or maybe he's just curious about talking to dead people. Or not. We shall see. Good evening. Hello.
You could paint you could paint his nails.
Whoa. And you say I'm weird.
I mean, does he want his nails painted? Because I can do that.
No. Ask him.
Marlowe, you want your nails painted? I have red, pink, another pink, and like a gold. But that's only in my purse right now.
I'm going to pass on all of those.
Oh.
As I think I'm meeting a Tremere. So that's a thing that's happening.
There's still a Tremere in the city?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, Malkavian stuff, I guess. Nice guy.
A real Tremere, or is this one
Helpful.
of those, like, people in your head Tremere?
I will have you know that Kale can also speak to dead people.
So
Sadly,
can-
he's
I
not
mean,
sure if
I
they're
talk to
dead or
dead
not
people
either.
all the time. I mean, I'm talking to some right now, so.
Yes. I assume that one day will lose its... Yeah.
It's funny.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah.
funny.
little bit
Yeah, let's go talk to Cass about the city we live in being just shit.
Yeah, that is kind of a big fuck. So, yeah. We should probably do that.
Have you ever thought about moving?
We're not just white. Like, no. Okay.
Okay. Just
I mean,
even-
here's,
not even-
here's the problem. If they, like, I would be willing to move on, but if they break the Masquerade wide open, that there will be nowhere to run.
Yeah.
It doesn't just affect this one city.
Oh yes.
And I'm not moving again. My mom's here.
Actually, this would be like a Cassius knowledge thing as opposed to anyone else. So, sorry, carry on.
If it was about London, then Chris has obviously spoken to a few people in passing a bit about it.
It's not a London thing.
No, okay. Where are we meeting him? I'm gonna go talk to Cass. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going back to the coterie. Yeah.
oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, head back.
Let's let's have a chat.
And you'll get together again. Cassius is no longer hungry. There'd probably actually be a little bit of time, Cassius, if you want to get anything done. Or,
Cassius has a lot on his mind.
Yep.
but I feel like he's got a short amount of time before they get back. So what he's going to do is he's going to summon some foxes.
Oh, okay.
As many foxes as he possibly can.
Interesting.
And see which ones are trainable. And he will use Feral Whispers.
Don't get hungrier. Finally.
What the?
Everything's coming up, Cassius. Which is when you roll, like, 0 successes and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Unless I roll 3. I want to get, like... So Cass's plan, or part of Cass's plan, is to get an entire network of delivery foxes. So I'm going to re-roll. I'm going to re-roll some.
that is fair.
I can re-roll 3, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 5.
5. Okay. Couple turn up.
Cool. I play with them, I talk with them, and just like introduce, like get to know each other a little bit. And then I'm going to start testing them to see whether, you know, I throw food for them, see which ones are trainable, which ones are interested in actually doing things for me in exchange for food and basic stuff like that.
Okay. They both seem pliable. Roll me a charisma animal, Ken.
Okay.
Or wits animal, Ken, depending on what you
I'll
want.
do
here.
charisma because I'm good at that. And also I'm spending a lot of time like
It will get you
asking them
something.
things and-
It will get you like slightly different information from the wits, but
that's fair enough.
yeah.
Ooh,
Is that a
4.
crit?
That is charisma. It's not a crit.
So they seem pliable as you kind of, you know, you start off kind of like playing with them and entertaining them and, you know, kind of like that type of thing. And then slowly kind of integrate a little bit of like, oh, can they learn? Can they? And they seem pliable to your, it will take time, but you have time. Technically speaking, although recent revelations, maybe not so much.
Well, I think some foxes will be a good start. So I just have them around, and when people come back, and they're probably making that horrible yapping sound that foxes make.
You have
It's like
some
a really
you have some crates and stuff if you want to kind of, you know, like not in general, but when you go kind of like crash for the day.
I don't think I'm going to keep them here.
Okay.
I think the idea will be to let them stay outside until either regularly scheduled or I call on them. Just have them.
They'll be off wandering then, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You walk in and I'm playing with some foxes.
Both Cassius
Those
and
are cute.
is like, oh.
Those are cute.
Yeah, they are cute. They're quite smart as well, but they're still wild, so careful. They might nip.
I just kind of keep my distance, but smile at them. Sorry, likes animals.
Roll me another charisma animal, Ken, please.
Me? 4.
With this many people, they kind of like get a bit tense, and you feel that like tension.
Okay. Yeah, I'm for the moment I move them into another room where we're not going to be.
You have you can like get everyone downstairs quickly and maybe keep them here. Like in the upper, in the like ground floor, or you can put them in Chris's room. But I assume you're going down into the.
Yeah, I'll leave them upstairs with some food and some toys and just, you know, leave them on their own and see what happens. Experiment with them.
Okay.
And then I just lead everyone downstairs.
Right.
Quick, before we piss them off.
Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
head downstairs.
Foxes are cool.
So how's everyone doing? It was like a surprising reveal and then a weird mindfuck. So it's been a day. I feel.
Yep.
So apparently the old guard are growing flesh-eating monsters in basements and plan to kill
not
everyone in the
flesh-
city.
Not flesh eating. I think they're just made of flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found out why they
Frankenstein.
smell so bad. Or why the one guy smelled so bad.
Sabat.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Just for like general knowledge, Cassius, you part of like what Winnie did.
Oh yeah.
Involved
So
dealing with this
it's
about a lot. So
it was part of the reason London fell, right?
yeah.
I don't know if I know much
asshole.
about the clans in there, aside from like general rumors about evil
Yeah,
baby
it,
eating.
it would be general rumors and like hearsay and whatnot. But you've actually helped deal with some Sabat Kindred before, like not that often, but yeah.
Okay. Who told you this, Kale?
Kafka.
trusty Kafka.
We don't have a favor anymore, but it seemed kind of important at the time to know about the flesh monsters, Cassius, okay?
Don't get so defensive. That's a pretty smart move. Okay. Anyone here know what the Sabat is?
We have a
Evil.
vague idea of it now.
It's bad. It's all
Camarilla.
bad. Everyone's trying to kill us.
Anarchs, Sabat, kind of on their own side, just trying to kill and take
Now
over
next
everything.
Masquerade as well.
Yeah.
That does seem like the token villain of.
It's like, kill their city, it's fine,
Kindred.
we'll make flesh monsters out of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could everyone,
Yeah.
everyone aside from Cassius, just roll me a flat intelligence composure, please?
Okay. I got
I don't have.
3.
I have very little intelligence and no composure. So
Chris is very relaxed.
Did I do that
Doesn't
wrong?
Look like any crits? No, that seems right. You
Got 5 dice.
You got a bad roll. You can re-roll 3 if you'd like.
Okay. I guess. It's just 3d10.
And everyone else can re-roll if you like. That's 2 successes. Anyone else?
I'm going to roll
like-
1 dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm going to spell it wrong.
And I just can't spell either.
Hey, I've got a crit now.
Hey.
I'm not. I don't
Three.
think I'm gonna reroll. I can't reroll, right? Like I don't have any extra.
You can not re-roll, no.
Yeah, no.
I have 5.
5 with a
That's
crit.
4.
Mac, you guys did not ask anything about the prince or the Nathan and the Elysium, or what's going on with Elysium, or anything along those lines.
Yep.
You realise now as you get back.
Well, he
Well, they
did
knew
try and
about the
say, like,
prince.
why don't you tell us about these other things too? And he was like, nope. It's one or nothing.
No.
They seem to know
it's-
about the prince being dead. They said Kafka actually said everybody knows.
So,
Yeah.
the deal with the carrion is you give something, you get something. You know, you've got to work out a deal. So
Yeah.
it's very much like, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to exchange? So like asking Kafka a question like, "Hey, what's this?" is not gonna get you anywhere because you're not offering anything. So you can make deals and everything, but yeah, just FYI. It wasn't like you were like, "What's the prince doing?" and then he refused to tell you. It's more. you
Yeah.
didn't-
Yeah. We did. The other avenues were not explored. Yep. Yeah, that sort of... He hinted that there was other stuff going on, but that was what we, cashed our chips in on. So...
Didn't
Like
seem
it
like
was a good
it was
idea at the
as big
time.
as what this was.
Yeah. I mean, he already knew the prince was dead. I guess not that shocking. Hinted the blessed won't be attacking, was telling the truth, but was also kind of being smarmy about it. So I'm not sure. Yeah.
They're otherwise preoccupied.
Yeah. So this seems kind of pressing. And dead people and stuff.
Yeah, Kafka seems to think that it's like a city problem. That could be the end of the city. But they also don't care that much, and no one will believe us if we say it to them.
And essentially, if we get Carrion to try to do it, it's a major boon offered to them for each group that they try to convince, which probably means that the old guard are trying to keep him quiet.
I feel
one
like
way or another.
maybe there's a group that we can use them to convince that will help us convince everyone else. Maybe?
My question is, who deals with the Saboten? How, like, this seems like a problem, right? Like, this seems like a group that can get out of control anywhere, not just in Weirgate. How do other people deal
They
with
have
them?
done. The way you deal with Sabat is you track them down and you burn them.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
That's
So, well,
direct.
we know where they are, but it might seem a little aggressive on our part if we just go and
Yes.
stomp in and burn people. So.
I'm not very good at killing flesh monsters as well. I'm not very experienced in that department.
I haven't ever come into direct contact with flesh monsters, but yes, you're exactly right. The Sabat are bad, and they basically show up all over the place. They are one of the many reasons that London ended up turning into a shithole. So the one thing we know about the Old Guard is they're militaristic, right?
Yeah. Seems like it, at the very least. And we also know now that they're making flesh monsters in their basements of the houses, and that
their accents were also Eastern European.
And that they're Eastern European, probably.
If I may flag something that might seem obvious, but is worth saying, that we're the only people that know. And if they knew that we knew, we would be the first on the chopping block, I assume.
Yeah.
So
we can't change anything we're doing.
If we
Not outwardly.
speak to anyone and they said anything, the Old Guard would be gunning for us. Might I suggest we make sure that they have their attention focused elsewhere?
Yes. No, this is fine. This is actually fine.
Sure.
We need to gain a stronger hold on the Masquerade anyway. So I see a step-by-step course to us securing the Masquerade, destroying them. And if they do in fact have flesh monsters, then a few visible trophies from our exploits will go a long way to proving that they needed to be dealt with. That worst comes to worst, and we need to deal with them on our own. We need to figure out where they're getting people, animals that they're using for these.
Oh, I think they're humans.
Great.
Yeah.
What happens
Cool.
when a flesh monster dies?
It stops.
Does it revert into a pile of flesh, or does it still hold its form? Because if we
I have no
just
idea.
have a pile of flesh, That's not really going to be convincing to anyone.
I feel rather blessed right now that I don't know an answer to that question. I've never seen it happen.
We have a crap city.
It's a fucking mess.
It's
better than London.
I started off thinking that something is bad, and then something else crops along to be like, it's not really that bad because there's this. So I was thinking, Blessed, pretty bad. Nathan Fortuna, pretty bad. Flesh monsters. That's another level of bad.
Arthurian witches. Pretty bad. If they're the ones from the stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say what? Where's the witch?
Arthurian witches currently threatening.
Is that another problem? But
get to that, Cass. Probably tell them.
It's maybe a problem.
It's probably a problem.
We don't have time for more of these problems. This is ridiculous.
I would like to know what they are, though.
I would love to just like look into my problem notebook and cross out the problems that I don't want to deal with. But
when did they get an Arthurian witch? When did that happen?
It's
the other night.
For a while.
We have other people in Memoria to rely on. This isn't just us. If we can delegate, we'll get more done and faster. Where's Julian? He was smart. Was he smart?
Smart enough.
Depends what you want him for.
Smarter than Loveless.
Loveless is
cute.
Good if you want misinformation spread or any information spread.
That could be useful.
On that note, I'm going to meet a Tremere.
You fucking what?
And that's where the episode ends.
Sidebar. You'll be contacted when you can go meet a Tremere.
Yeah, I don't know when, but...
So you're not saying you're going to go...
It's not like I'm going to go meet one right now. It's just like, this is going to happen to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I arranged it through Kale. Well, I'm going to go meet a Tremere and ask him about it.
Kale got to do with the Tremere?
He has one.
Has?
Well, it's his... I don't know. Might be his friend or pet.
Be in his head?
Not everything is in our head. You might be in my head. I don't know.
Oh, because
very jealous. Enjoy meeting a Tremere.
The camera pans backward and it's just Marlowe in the room. Everyone else is a figment of his imagination.
Yeah.
The end.
It was all a dream.
My sire's by the side of my table in a hospital being like, wake up! Wake up!
So I could resist that one.
Yeah.
Beautiful minding it.
So yeah. Tremere, there you go. Carry on.
Yeah, so I don't know when. I mean, you could come with if you like. I'm just going to ask some questions about
too much
the
to
burning.
do. I hate that I'm saying that.
Wow. Priorities. Really, you don't want to go see a Tremere?
I do, because they're all dead now, and they're supposed to be pretty smart. I don't fucking know. If you figure out why everyone got exploded, then that would be amazing. But I'm not bothering with that right now. We've got bigger fish.
Yeah, and flesh monsters and chickens, very big chickens.
Shut the. That chicken. I'm not hearing about that chicken again. I have run round in circles. Don't say it.
It's going to come back and peck you in the arse, Cass. Just...
You're banned. You're banned from chicken talk.
It's understandable. Look, do you want to meet... Well, I'll ask him about the dead body in the park as well.
Ooh.
Or not.
I've been thinking about that. That
Maybe
might
he did
be a
it.
true brouhaha, and I don't want to risk.
Oh, okay.
letting other people know. Just
You
in
think?
case.
Oh,
That or a
By the
werewolf?
way, Kale just gave away his territory to the, to the
Yeah.
folk
Very
guys
odd.
out there. Just
Yeah.
gifted it. Yeah.
The slim.
So,
Gifted?
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't like the shape of its old territory.
fucking hate Malkavians.
Thanks.
That sounds
Sorry,
like
no
a really
offense.
elaborate lie.
Taken. I mean, I don't judge.
It's fine by
But-
me.
Question.
Yeah.
For the rest of the evening, does anyone have plans or things they would like to be played out? Because I'm thinking like quite a few of you, I think, have things they could do as kind of like a I'm doing this thing and working towards X. And we are hitting the end of the episode, so
I want to look up cow rituals.
cow rituals.
Yeah. Just look up cow rituals on Google
On Google.
or something. I
Okay.
don't know.
You get a
I'm
gif
I'm googling this. Cattle in religion and mythology. Oh, that's boring.
I mean, I want to look up cow rituals, like, actually. Like, I might go see if I could get some books or something. I don't know.
The Sacred Cow, Alimentarium, Holy Cows. No, sorry, Holy Cow. Men getting trampled by colourful cows. 10 plus. Okay, thank you, Pinterest. 10 plus best rituals for cows.
Love it.
There you go. You're getting started.
No?
So yeah, like for example, Nahari, you could go like carry on your vigil on the blessed and see what they're doing, or if you want to do some recon on the old guard, like frontier.
Sure, that would be good.
Kind of depends what you guys want to prioritize, or what you personally want to prioritize as well.
I was gonna offer to go practice some martial arts with Chrys, but I guess we could do
that would be fun. If you want to.
Yeah. Maybe blow off a little steam. Just kind of put all of this insanity aside for an hour or so.
Okay.
Or two.
In that case, Nahari, please roll me your dexterity melee. Chrys, please roll me your wits insight with your speciality. Okay. You may need another session or two, but you're well on your way to figuring out this whole what's the name of the
Tatib.
Tatib? If that's what you're doing, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's up to Chrys if she wants to. I would just offer it.
You would 1,000,000% get a lot of snark. Because that's how Chrys fights. So
that's fine. I feel like
are you not going to ditch me this time on the way?
no. I just needed to talk to Saturday. I'm sorry.
Marlowe, I think we'll if you're willing, try and figure out a snack shot for the. I know time's a bit difficult, but it shouldn't be.
We'll do it.
One.
We'll do it. I will make it work.
And that'll be kind of like what you're doing in the interim.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Cassius. You have anything you'd like to be working on?
Yes, like 10 things.
I know, sandbox. I can only apologize.
I think right now I am between Cassius's political and academic interests. So
Yep.
I think what he's going to do is try and work out. Oh, I can't really do anything with the police until we find the kid's head.
What?
It's the whole thing.
No, he Okay, so this is the only clear idea that I have right now.
Yeah.
Cass is going to take his books about Arthurian legends, the Ogham, and he's going to take it to the woods where the crown is. And he's going to start researching if there's a connection between the crown, the witch, and any of the texts that he has. So he's going to go out there and study that.
Okay. Nothing with the Gothic research thing.
Nothing with the Gothic right at this minute.
Okay. In that case,
You're not playing Kafka right now. Stop.
no, it's just, like, you could okay. In fact, yeah. Roll me an intelligence academics with your bonus.
Folklore. Okay. I'm gonna rouse check. He's focused on this.
You do not get hungrier.
4.
Yeah, within the first couple of hours of research, you realize that while there are definite, like, connections in the sense that they circle around the same topics in the same time period and etc., there doesn't seem to be a direct correlation to anything that you have to, like, connect them all together. So they're folk stories, they're an artifact, but they don't seem to be. There doesn't seem to be any, like, specific connection.
Okay, so there's nothing between Morgan. Anything else? Okay.
Not in, like, the stories. Like obviously in the folk tales and stuff, there are connections there, but there's nothing to, like, correlate with reality.
Okay.
If you like, you could go into the Cicatrix or the scroll or the anything else. You don't really have time to do anything in depth.
No.
For this.
Yeah, I'll read. I'll read the Ogham. Because that was the only other thing I brought with me.
Fair enough.
The gravestone.
The gravestone. In early 4th century, a practice became reasonably common of erecting cairns and like markers for the dead. This book theorizes that a spirit which it both exists and empowers itself by belief and sacrifice and ritual attached itself to this practice and soon became the object of worship that was originally for the dead and for the gravestone. Effectively what the spirit did was it supplanted the original belief and became the object of that belief. So the spirit already existed in some other form, possibly. Like the book basically says, the spirit could have been something entirely different before, and indeed could have been like switching from thing to thing. The only thing it doesn't, what it theorizes is there's a reason why the spirit now is just gravestone. Like something. There's some reason why it's still gravestone as opposed to supplanting a new religion or like you know, attaching to something else.
Like he got stuck.
Or chose to stay.
Or chose to. Yeah. Interesting. Wonder if gravestone can kill flesh monsters.
I mean, yes, but in general, probably not a way you'd want him to. Just wanting to unleash this ridiculous. But one thing you can garner from it is basically like the act of worship is what's like the subject of worship is what's important here, and it's very. It's very dependent. So like if you're worshipping gravestone, or if you're worshipping the objects like graveyards and things like that, that empowers the spirit.
But not, for instance, if you're at someone's gravestone and you're like worshipping an elder or something.
Yeah. So
okay.
it's your action, your sacrifice, your belief, and that type of thing. Which means that kind of correlates to gravestone, and what he requested is it doesn't matter how they're sacred or like what religion you do it in. It's the actual intent and sacrifice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So kind of no matter, we can just get cows and sacrifice them to gravestone in like our own kind of ritual then?
Well, the danger would be is if you start getting cows and sacrificing them in the name of Christianity, for example, you could find yourself with a Christian it's possible that he could kind of like supplant into Christianity and start becoming a part of that religion.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of a risky thing. And you imagine, Cassius, from what you've been reading, is that the pure request was also a test for you to see what you actually ended up doing with it. It may not be that important to him.
The request, as in to get the cows?
Yeah.
Okay.
It may be more about you than about the actual like details of the request.
Well, time to get some humans. No. Cass is bemused, and he feels like he probably hasn't helped the group a lot, but this is fascinating.
There would just purely because of who she is, there would be mention of Morgan in there as well. Dating back about 200 plus years ago. Oh, sorry. Probably more like 400 years ago. And like first contact and conversation and etc. Like.
Okay.
Oh god, wait, no, I need to look at something. Yeah, okay. Actually, it doesn't talk about Morgan. Because it talks about someone's meeting. It's gonna be obvious now. It talks about someone's meeting with Gravestone. And they're talking in the first person. So like, I met Gravestone about 400 years ago. And conversed with him.
As if Morgan wrote this book?
Morgan wrote this book, yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Okay.
Ooh. Well, I don't know whether that's good or bad, but they know lots about Gravestone, I guess. Cool.
I mean, from what you've heard so far, it's not insane to speculate that she has control and abilities with the spirits and etc. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's worrying.
I'm gonna very quickly just send you something in a DM.
Okay.
It's not something you'll find out immediately, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna find out soon.
Because in my brain, and probably Cass's brain, he's like, okay, this seems like a real person. Where the fucking Weirgate is she?
What if she's the... What is it? What is her name? Gladys?
That'd be so funny.
Don't do that to me.
Oh no.
Don't fuck with me like that, Tasachka.
So
It would be like she paid to do that.
not wrong. You wanted a love interest? Actually, by the way, side note here, you can take this as you will. It's kind of off the table, probably.
A little young for her.
She's what if she was just like a cougar?
Mm.
Like a really old, like, witch cougar.
He pretends to be coy and timid.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Until
I'm
the
watching
last
Josh's
moment.
reaction.
Oh,
That's
look
what
at
I
all
was
this
doing.
information I have, Cass. Ooh. And then, yeah, lures them
Yeah.
in.
You have to watch Josh's reaction. That was good. The
Which
eyes widening first.
Once you get her alone, she turns into Jennifer Aniston from the That Bad
I'm
Boss film.
probably totally wrong.
Complete reverse.
Cass,
So
how much worse is it?
I believe I can do a movie quote here from The Last Crusade. Cassius, you chose poorly.
No! I didn't know.
Oh,
Did I guess? Wait.
Did we guess right?
No,
Did I?
this is something else. I wanted for the finale of this episode to be Josh's reaction to.
Josh just had a few reactions today.
Yeah. So we're gonna end there. Josh,
man.
you'll get that basically probably at the end of the night, maybe, like if you head back or
If that ever happens
Yeah.
after the next few sessions. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I imagine your brain is going,
Oh dear.
You may have a few other places you're interested in on the city map now as well. Because you know who wrote that one, right? That's the research notes of the Tremere Promogen who got kidnapped.
Yeah, hang on. That's yeah. That's the Gothic, right?
That's Gothic, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Fuck.
Well, this is super.
Cool, cryptic, yeah.
So, Chris. Oh, you know what? Let's go the other way around. Nahari and also Tessa. How are you doing? How did you enjoy the episode? And feel free to shout at me about what Kale is like, because I've gotten that before.
No, it was, I mean, it was kind of hilarious. I wasn't expecting the fleshy monsters in the basement.
I don't think anyone really was, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good. I'm happy that Nahari and Chrys get to do the little sparring session thing.
if you want, next episode we can maybe do a little conversation as that happens.
That'd be
just so you
cool.
can-
Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit. I don't know what I just broke. Yeah, it was an interesting episode. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things I didn't expect, which is kind of like every episode. So
Some of this stuff has been brewing for a while.
Yeah. I'm still super I can't think of a better word, so sus of Nathan Fortuna. He makes me more nervous than anybody.
I mean, you know, whoever makes you worried and suspect is fine.
Yeah. But obviously the order is a problem that we need to deal with. So yeah. I like that Cass was like, this will be fine, and Nahari like kind of respects him, so she's like, she feels a little bit better, but it's still fleshy monsters in the basement. Like,
Yeah.
so it's a concern. Yeah, that's basically where she's at.
So moving onwards to Tess and also Vandy. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Tango's kind of bugging me. Yeah, every time, like, I always go in to see Kafka with a plan and then leave feeling very confused, and like I got kind of like my brain just mushed or blended.
Yeah.
So yeah. My brain hurts, and
I mean, you met Kafka and then Kale, so that's completely understandable.
Oh god, fuck!
I don't know why you hit both of them up at the same time, because that's just.
I was feeling lucky. Okay, I felt like maybe we'd be able to get some information out of there, but I was like,
I mean,
we got some, which was good.
Yeah.
But it's also hurts my brain because Malkavians.
Yeah.
Frick. God. But no, that was cool. Tess hasn't ever interacted with another Malkavian, so she doesn't want to fucking ever do it again.
That is.
She's like, nope, Marlowe's enough for me. I'm good.
That
Marlowe's
is...
the most normal Malkavian. She has a lot more respect for Marlowe now because Marlowe is comparatively a little bit easier to follow.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, she's known him longer, so yeah. I don't know. That's it.
Well, speaking of Marlowe and also Hydra, hey bud, how you doing?
What's up? Yeah, man, what a whirlwind there currently is of stuff going on and things we need to deal with and stuff we could do. And like, it's like, so what do we do? That's Marlowe's. Yeah,
Everything.
There's like stuff to be investigated, but so many places that are dangerous to go. And the Tremere thing was interesting. Like
he's been there the whole time.
Yeah. I yeah. So, but yeah. So
I did tell you were literally like one of you was like right next to a Tremere, and he was just in the video store. He was just in the other room in there, like just chilling, sitting down, drinking. Well, drinking.
Good to know. So yeah, so like the impending doom of the city is very cool. I really hope not everywhere is like Weirgate. We seem to have a rough end of it, but maybe it is.
I was really worried that the old guard were just going to get found and trounced like instantly, because they were so vulnerable at the start. It was just like if anyone had been like, oh, who are these guys? Let's look into them. Oh, there's Sabat. But there were so many other problems like going on and around the place. No one really got a chance to be like, maybe these guys are suspicious.
And hot women. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But now fleshy monsters in the basement.
Monsters in the basement. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that
scary.
they didn't get squashed for you, Sheepy. You know, so glad you get to play out that.
Yep.
You did squash the front. By the way, have you guys heard anything about Gorman?
No.
No, not sure.
I thought about that today.
Yeah.
We knew he'd made a deal, but we don't really know what. The thing is, you can't just go to the NOS and ask, because they'd be like, "What are you going to give us?" Those goddamn NOS. So many questions.
I'm assuming you picked up on it, but Kale acting like he'd never met you before.
Yeah. It seemed sensible to not break that for Marlowe.
Yeah.
To like, this is easier.
Yeah.
So this is kind of this is the ideal. So this is fine. I do wonder if he was aware that it was my body in another person, or if he was just like, you look different, therefore you are different. The Malkavian in me hopes that he sensed the change. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, you're someone else now."
He knew that. Yeah, I can tell you that. He knew that you were someone else now. So it's just like, I've never met this person before. So
Yeah. So that's what I was hoping for. So that's cool. That was nice for Marlowe as well to have a bit of like, okay, so other people speak to them too. A little frustrating that he didn't get like clear answers. Not that you can, because how the hell do you know?
It's like talking to someone else who has visions from God. It's like, are they real? And it's like,
discussing the reality of the metaphysical was not something Malkavians probably excel at, but that was good for him. That was at least it puts a little bit more like weight on his sire, not just being him being mad, but something Malkavian at least. Yeah, so interesting.
Which could mean
we shall see.
To be fair, but yeah. I'm just gonna jump over Josh for a second. No offense, mate. We'll get to you last. Chrys and also Tash. Hey, how you doing?
Hi. Well, flesh monsters.
I saw your reaction as well to the Tremere. And a couple of other things.
I'm like, excuse me. Yeah, flesh monster's great. We have to deal with that. I feel like Chrys did really well with Kafka today.
Yeah.
Mainly because everyone else thinks that she can't, and
everyone else was so aggro on Kafka.
And it's like 20 questions, just like one specific question. Check the wording. You're fine.
Yeah. The funniest thing is like, you dealt the best with Kafka.
Yeah.
Everyone else was like, damn you.
Like, whoa, he's just doing his job, guys. I think like Kafka and Chrys friendship is fun. I like it.
I enjoy it.
It's always nice to play. And yeah, he's a good buddy old pal, even if he doesn't always tell us everything we would like to know, but then nor does Cassius. So that will come out in the future, I'm sure. Yeah, it's gonna be nice, and we're gonna have a nice little Nahari Chrys. She's gonna be mean.
Yeah.
I'm warning you, Tess Aquila. Chrys is mean.
Prepare yourself for barbed comments.
Just
So
prepare
barbed.
emotionally, because it's how she wins. So we'll see how that goes. I saw that composure roll earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I like this. It's fun.
And finally, wow, you found out a lot today, huh, bud? Cassius and also Josh.
None of it's good. All of it's bad. And unless we do something, we're very, very fucked. What do we do, though?
Which bit are you talking about? Or just like...
Yes.
Yeah.
So... you know what? It was a good session. We know more stuff about the city now, and I'm very intrigued as to how on earth we're going to deal with any of this, but yeah, we'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have a podcast that you should listen to called Stitch of Fate if you want more vampires.
He remembered by himself. I'm so
Yeah,
proud.
I did.
Bravo.
Thank you. And if you want more vampires, new, I also GM a show over on Table Story called Leech. It's not spelt like that.
just go Table Story on YouTube or Twitch, and you can find it there.
Yeah, there'll be blood all over the place on the thumbnails and stuff.
Are you still uploading the Stitch of Fate to your channel, your YouTube?
I am over on Strange Adventures on YouTube.
It's up to like episode 9 or 10, right?
Yeah, we've got 15 episodes planned. Tomorrow evening, I'm actually recording the last 3 episodes.
Ooh.
So that's exciting. And we have a guest, maybe. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see.
If anyone's interested, the link to Josh's Strange Adventures and also to Hydra's, I think that's your RP channel I put in there, right? I'm pretty sure. So if you want more RP in general, you can check out both of their channels, but also specifically for Stitch of Fate, if you want to be listening to that, really cool, like, is it an actual play is the
yeah, because podcasts call it actual play, and I don't know why.
Or podcast, but it's a VTM thing, it's really good, like, the production on it is great, I love the...
It's
The
so
addition of
good.
music,
Yeah.
timing, editing, it's good stuff.
I have to do all of my music stuff as we go, which is why sometimes I'll just cut out and switch to a different song.
Good music though. It's always on point.
Can we have the party music, please?
Which one?
Showrunner.
The Tess's
Yes.
club one.
Tessa's cool.
Oh yeah.
I have a couple of them.
Earlier
wait,
one.
are
I
we-
like
One?
it. Dun
The
dun 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 dun.
the classic one, right?
Oh.
I don't think we heard the new one, right? Did we?
No.
Don't know.
We didn't share it, so we don't get to hear it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
club
I guess
opening
not.
soon.
Yeah, because it's not. Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah.
Tess wanted to delay the opening, so
That's right. That's right.
which is fair
That's-
enough, to be fair, to be honest. 'Cause-
Yeah, we have to deal with Frankenstein's monster now, so
Yeah.
Monsters.
no pressure.
And we can go have a party afterwards, maybe?
I will say, I'm not confident enough to say we're like halfway through the campaign, but just don't laugh.
It's funny.
But we're definitely like we can actually see a possibility for an end at this point. where it's
Everyone's a
like,
zombie.
But I mean, like we've seen multiple possibilities. Those are the bad endings, which you've managed to
There are some
mostly
scary
side-
ones.
Yeah, but like in terms of like a conclusion to the characters and to kind of like the Weirgate, the saga of Weirgate. Yeah, like I can see an ending. You know, like you got to deal with a lot still, but it could happen. So.
Oh.
Having said that, everyone on YouTube, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I already said all the things that I need to say, so there you go. Next time, next place, next
Weak.
revelation.
Mm.
You took your balls.